Welcome everybody to the Desync podcast. I have no idea what we're going to do for the intro, but I just know I'm bringing the energy. That's it.
Hell
because we have
yeah!
XeroState here. XeroState, one of my favorite people in the streaming space. So I got to say it. He is somebody I look up to so much and wish I could do some of the things he does on Twitch, emulate some of the things you do on Twitch. We'll definitely get into it, but there's a couple things that stick out to me about Xero that I absolutely love. And I think if you were an aspiring Twitch streamer, you should do some of these things. So that's our guest, XeroState, Berks. How you guys doing? Everybody good?
I'm
Doing
great.
good.
I'm great. That was a
I
heck of
assume
an
it
intro
goes
for
like-
Xero
That
State.
was my energy.
I assume it goes like Amaranth, me, Berks. Is that like the right
of, like,
order?
That sounds right.
Things to do.
Sounds right.
That sounds accurate. Like in terms of
Yeah.
like quality streamers, I would say
Yeah,
1, 2, and
for
3
sure.
in order.
Yeah.
I would agree with that. And I mean, ladies, if you're watching, he's single as well. No, I'm just kidding. But dude, Xero, ever since I like stumbled upon your stream, I honestly, the first thing that stood out to me is just like how genuine and nice of a dude you are. You know?
Thanks.
And so
I remember when you stumbled on my stream, Berks. I was
Yeah.
low flying on Selin terribly, and your first chat in the stream, I think, was like, "OMG, your frames are really smooth, dude." And I was like, "Oh, I know that guy," and he said my stream looks good, and it was like a huge compliment that has stuck with me ever since.
So
I'm pretty
this
sure
is the thing, though, that I was pointing out. This guy has the biggest memory I've ever seen in my entire life,
Yeah.
and will remember anything about you. If you popped in his stream, said, "Hey, man, I was having a bad day. My dog was sick. He ate a little bit of chocolate, and we brought him to the vet, and he's recovering." 6 months later, Xero, like you'd never come back to the stream. 6 months later, you come in, pop in, you're like, hey, what's up? What game are you playing? And Xero would immediately be like, so how's your dog? Like he would just remember that stuff.
I think it's
so
ADHD
impressive.
brain. I'm not sure, because the problem is like
No,
6
I
months would
got
go
that.
by, and
I
I'd be
got
like,
that.
"By the way, how did your dog do 6 months ago?"
Oh my god.
It's
But
so
it's like it's a
impressive.
good thing, but it's also like a scatterbrain thing, you know.
Yeah.
Um,
I'd say
and I
have-
think it's
Go
maybe
ahead.
social anxiety a little bit too, with like you kind of like want to be there for people, like even if you don't really know them that well, there's like a little part of it, and so it's kind of like like an anxiety of not remembering something important about somebody, which happens all the time, but you can't
Interesting.
help it.
So it's the
Yeah, I
fear
wish
of
I
not
was like that.
remembering that motivates you to remember.
Yeah, like a fight or flight.
Wow.
No, I'm just kidding. It's not that
Wow.
bad, but
It's getting deep.
Yeah, but what it ends up doing is like it really creates connections with people, and you just feel so welcomed into your streams and stuff. It's like, yeah, I like being here for those reasons. Like I'll pop in a stream, and a streamer that I have no idea, never heard of, Xero knows a fun fact about them, shares it, hey, tells people to follow, all that stuff. It's really awesome. So
well, thanks.
Yeah.
thank you for being you. It's definitely inspiring. Every time I watch your stream, I'm like, damn, I need to be more like that.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
man.
so
Most of the time when I enter either of your streams, somebody, either you or one of your viewers, says a swear word to me. At least
Yep.
50% of the time. I think the Taylor in Berks' stream will say, "Fuck Xero," and he'll tag me, and that'll be it. And I'll be like, "Hey Taylor, how's
hey
it going?"
Xero, you're not allowed to curse on the podcast. We're gonna have to cut that out.
Yet.
I'm just kidding. bro.
Oh,
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. You're fine. Oh man. If you guys are listening to the podcast and not watching it, you should have seen the look on Xero's face. But
I
dude,
don't want to screw up a thing for you guys.
Dude, no, seriously, we appreciate you being here, and you're one of our favorite Star Citizen creators. I think that the night shift is that time zone, late US, is really lucky to have you. Because there are a lot of good streamers in the category, but dude, you're definitely one of the best, and you're one of the highest ranking, and that's for a reason.
Thanks.
And so, dude, glad to have you. I think there's a lot of really cool stuff to talk about with you, and like how you got into streaming. I think that's something that, if you guys don't know about this, Xero's not a full-time streamer.
Yep.
He streams part-time. You do YouTube sometimes. It's not really like a big thing for you.
If you'd asked me 9 months ago if I did YouTube sometimes, I'd say yes. But if you ask me today, it's been long enough that I can say not anymore. But it's something that I think every creator should probably try to get into YouTube. At the very least, posting some shorts, which I don't do either. Um,
Yeah.
but it's just one of those things that I started a new job recently, and you're just at capacity sometimes, and
Yeah.
it's like I'm just gonna hang out with the community live, and that's enough.
Yeah.
And I know that's not the way to like break into full-time streaming or enable that for myself. You have to like diversify, but
Yeah.
it's not in the cards for me at the moment.
You don't
Right.
have to.
And
Yeah.
you've got a great job. Do you mind telling people what you do?
Yeah, I actually work at Chippendales.
I knew it.
I knew
I
it.
thought I saw you there.
No, I'm not in nearly good enough shape for that. But I work in surgical IT is what I would call it. I'm an analyst, but I'm on site, so I wear scrubs all day. And like, let's say an OR is having a problem with a PC or like an integration issue. If you guys, for those who've been in ORs, I'm sure there's some of you. There's like screens all over the walls in most ORs, and they connect video equipment to that stuff. So I work with some of that integration. And basically, I'm running around most of the day. I do access requests now and stuff like that for like new users and stuff like that. So it's a very new to me job, and it's up the stress level a little bit. It's a bump in pay, which is nice, but
Yeah.
So basically, hospital surgical IT is kind of where I'm at now.
Yeah.
So that's been a ride for sure.
What's the schedule like? Because hospital schedules are obviously very different than
Yeah.
your average.
I get there about 6:40 in the morning, like 6:30, 6:40. And I get going about like 6:50, get changed and everything. And I'm getting calls like pretty much from 7 to like 10 a.m. Like it's like an OR needs something over here, and then like a procedure room needs something over there, and it's just kind of, I carry a phone with me all day, and it's just ringing. And then I get some time for I can take lunch and stuff like that, but it's a very flexible kind of lunch schedule. I eat at my desk a lot. But yeah, so the schedules I usually get done. Now I used to get done about 4, but in the new job I get done around 3.
Nice.
Or 3:30. So I get a little bit more time, but I also have to go to bed earlier.
Yeah.
So I can get up earlier, so it kind of evens out. But
And
But
for
it's,
someone with a full-time job, you stream a lot, dude.
yeah, it's I haven't seen my social life in a while. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
It's been a
You
little
live
rough,
in
but
Minnesota, so your social life's like corn and a scarecrow and maybe some
that's Iowa.
soybeans.
To be fair, it's also southern Minnesota. Yeah.
Yeah, because I watch a lot of farming YouTube channels, and there's this
Yeah.
one Minnesota guy that is like factory farmer, not factory
Yeah, there's a
farmer,
few of
but
those.
industrial corn farmer.
Yeah. That's farming in the Midwest has gone, and this is a weird topic to get onto, but farming in the
Yeah.
Midwest has gone from a lot of small farms to like
Yeah, they're
less
condensing.
big farms, right? And it's a lot easier for one guy or one like farm to use their one really huge combine on a large a parcel of land than it is for like 3 farms to use their kind of wimpy equipment, on the same, because everything comes out faster and it's all done the same and it's all like, an assembly line. And I'm bummed about that because I grew up with my dad milking cows on the farm, and he like taught me a lot about how to work hard and how to get up early when you need to and stuff. And that lifestyle is very much going away, and I think the world is going to miss that lifestyle a little bit. Even if it is old fashioned in some ways, and you have to look at the future, there's real benefit to waking up, seeing the sunrise and getting some work done and just feeling accomplished about your day. And I don't think very many people get to experience that these days,
Yeah.
So.
I mean, there's also something about like local food and stuff like that too, where everything is being grown so far away from you, even if it's in the same country, right?
I had the craziest experience when I went to California. This is like 10 years ago. I went there for a wedding for a buddy of mine, and he took me to this magical place called a dairy. And I was like, that's like the local convenience store for me, right? Like they sell like milk. And he takes me to this dairy where they pick up this special order of like those little like cardboard containers full of milk, you know, little box
Sure.
milk.
Yeah.
And he's like, "This is real milk." And I was like, "Okay, that's my Tuesday, man. What's special here?" And he
Oh,
was
is
like,
it unpasteurized? Is that what it?
No. He said like a lot of people here, at least back then, he was like, a lot of us drink powdered, like we buy powdered milk because it's easier to ship over the mountains. And there's cows in California, but not enough to feed everybody, you know?
Oh my God.
And so he's like, a lot of people will like, and I don't know if that's this way anymore. Maybe things have gotten easier to ship, but back then he was like, a lot of people just buy bags of like, you know, dried milk, and then they mix it with water and it becomes milk substitute. And I was like, oh, that sucks. Because like, if I want a glass of milk, I just like, I can get it 2 blocks away, you know?
I don't drink milk, but and I never really liked it, but it was always available to me because
Yeah.
I'm East Coast. I was in New Jersey. There's
Yeah.
cows
Same here.
everywhere. Like it was always available. So I never even knew that was a thing.
Wait, Berks, there are cows in Texas?
Oh yeah, are you kidding me?
No,
Yes, I'm
what?
kidding.
I mean, dude, honestly, it's like a lot of farmland out here, a lot of country out here. It's very deceiving because whenever you're in a major city, you know, like DFW or Austin or whatever, you can drive 20 minutes in like one direction or the other and be in the middle of nowhere, it feels like.
Yeah, some places in Minnesota are like that. It's like, yeah. I mean, if you go north a ways, it's just like, oh, I'm in the middle of a woods and now I'm lost and I have no idea where I am. And GPS doesn't work and I can't make a phone call.
Even in New Jersey, it's like that. You wouldn't think because it's the most densely populated state, but even in New Jersey, they drive 30 minutes one direction and it's farmland.
Yeah.
Right? And you were just in like gangland 20 minutes ago.
Yeah. Like as a kid, I always pictured like Texas as like, have you seen the show Yellowstone? I just always pictured it as that in my head, you know, where it was just like,
I've seen a little bit of it, yeah.
Like people getting into fights in bar, you know, like with swinging doors and bar. Like I was just a dumb kid, but I always pictured Texas as like the old West or whatever, and it was just like, no, it's like everywhere else.
But I like Texas.
Texas is nice. It's, you know, got decent weather. It gets a little too hot and a little too cold. It's not really in the middle. Some people in the comments are going to roast me because they're going to be like, actually, Berks, Texas is not cold. I live somewhere way colder. And listen, I get it. I didn't ask you to live in the frozen food aisle section of the country. But
it's Canadians. It's Canadian. If you talk about the weather being cold, like if you want to summon a Canadian to your comment section, just be like, it gets really cold in wherever you are.
Yeah.
And then a Canadian will invariably show up and be like, actually, yesterday it was negative 8,000 degrees here. And it's just every time.
Xero, do you hear, because I don't know if we mentioned it, but Xero lives in Minnesota. Do you heat your engine block?
I do have an engine block heater on my truck because it was built in Michigan. Yeah, they have engine block heaters. So
what are we talking? What is this?
If you ever see a car or a truck with a cord, like a regular, you know, house cable, like hanging out the front, that's because it has what's called an engine block heater, which is like a little apparatus that's attached to the engine. You plug it in and it heats the oil like all the time.
So it doesn't freeze or
so it doesn't,
or whatever.
Yeah, because oil, when it gets to a certain temperature, especially if it's like not synthetic oil, it gets thick. It kind of turns into like, not quite peanut butter, but like really thick, like syrupy.
I get it. Like molasses.
You know? Yeah. And if you try to start your engine with that, it's not going to, you know, get through all the little pipes and passageways, and you can hurt your engine. So mostly in Canada, they use them, or in the northern Minnesota or like North Dakota. But last winter, the coldest reading on my truck when I got up to go to work was negative 26.
Oh my God.
That's Fahrenheit. So it's getting close to where the point where
I take it back, guys. I am a total baby. I definitely live in somewhere warm. I take it completely back. I'm sorry. Xero, go ahead.
It's weird. If you get like past
I'm looking up the coldest temperature where I live last year.
Past like negative, I don't know. For me, like past like -5 or -8, maybe 10, it all kind of feels the same, you know? It's like, oh, if I stay out here too long, I'm going to die. And that's all you need to know, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I suppose you're not wrong. I guess it's just like if you have the right winter gear, most places are going to feel kind of the same after a certain temperature, right?
Yeah, and heaters are different here. I mean, it's like if your heater goes out in Minnesota in the middle of winter, like there are like laws in place that are like they have to take care of it, even if you don't have money. They have to fix your heater because if they don't, you're gonna die. You know.
Yeah.
And I think there are laws about like that with heat some places too, like where, or at least
Not
mandates
here.
and things. But because like
Not
if the
here.
electricity goes out in some places, it gets too hot. You know. But
We had a really bad hurricane, and my house was out of power for 6 days, and it was 89 or 90 degrees in the house. My
wow.
cat like stopped eating and stuff. It was getting really
Oh,
nasty, and then the power came on, and it was like, all right.
oh,
But
that's
like
tough,
one
man.
more day, and it was like I was going to I didn't drive my car anywhere. I just used it to cool
Yeah.
off.
Dude.
Well,
I just
that's
turned on
you're
the
humid.
AC.
It's humid there too, right? Like it's
It's
fairly humid
so
when it gets
Oh
hot.
nasty.
yeah.
Yeah. So you can't
We're
like
100% humidity all the time,
yeah.
pretty
So like
much.
in some places, if it's hot, you can get those like they make these like coolers you can buy where it has like a little fan in it, you fill it full of ice, and
Yep.
then it like kind of blows out like cool humid air and it like cools the place down because it increases the humidity and you can like feel that in the air. But if it's already like 100% humidity, there's nothing you can do. You just sit there and sweat.
Nah,
Oh,
it's brutal.
that
The
sucks.
coldest temperature last year, guys, 43 degrees Fahrenheit.
Oh my god. Oh my
It was
god.
uh,
it was a cold winter last
I'm
year.
sure it was. Yep, I'm sure it was.
It's pretty rare
That's
you'd
like
get like snow somewhere there, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think it snowed like not too far north of me though,
yeah, I've heard
which
of
was
snow
like
in
pretty
Florida a
crazy.
few times here and
Very,
there.
very rare.
Yeah,
North Florida, sure, because it's basically like Georgia, and
yeah.
Florida's super long. It takes 8 hours to drive
Oh, that's
from
right.
where I
Yeah.
am to the border. So it maybe full length 9, 10 hours, something
I
like
think
that.
Yeah,
one
I
of the
know that.
craziest things about Minnesota weather is that almost every year in the spring, and there's a windy day on the lakes, like Lake Superior, this happens, and some other lakes too. It freezes over in the winter, so you have
Mhm.
this ice sheet, and the ice sheet breaks up, you know, because it starts to get warm, and then the wind blows the ice sheet onto the land like an avalanche that's moving slowly, and it destroys houses sometimes.
Whoa.
What
Imagine
the
your house
heck?
getting destroyed by an avalanche of ice sheets getting blown across Lake Superior.
Yeah, 1 inch at a time, and
Yeah,
you're
and it's
just
like super
watching it
like people
slowly.
watch their houses slowly get demolished by these ice piles.
Jesus, I
It's wild.
swear, no matter where you live, nature's trying to kill you. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter where you go.
That's a
Min-
fact.
Minnesota's
Yeah.
pretty good. I say that pretty often. Like very few things in Minnesota genuinely want to kill you. Like
You get
winter, it gets
tornadoes?
cold. It's pretty rare that we get tornadoes.
Okay.
Yeah, Iowa gets more than we do. But yeah, there's a few every year, but it's like a touchdown and
Mhm.
not much gets destroyed, you know.
We get hurricanes with tornadoes inside them.
Dude, that would be so
Like
Take
water
wild.
that.
I
spouts,
think I
right?
remember you saying
That's
that
what
on a
they're called,
stream
I
I was
think.
watching.
They're not water spouts.
Oh, they're not.
They
That's
are like
crazy.
yeah, like fuck up your shit
Oh
hurricane
god.
or tornadoes. They're not Midwest tornadoes, like screw up a whole town, but they'll rip your roof off.
That's
Last year.
crazy.
This is the story that you remember is last year. There was some hurricane that was nowhere near us, and like the outer bands were coming,
Mm.
and there was a triangle of tornadoes around my house, and we just our phone starts blaring like get to a
Yeah.
safe place and stuff, and we're like, what the heck? Like I didn't close my shutters. I didn't like because I could just go outside, close my shutters, and everything's safe. And we didn't do it because we're nowhere near this hurricane.
Mhm.
Um, and so I go out in the middle of the storm, closing the shutters, and I can hear like that train sound that people say that tornadoes make, and I'm like,
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna get hit with like a, like with a car
Dude,
or
that
a
is
cow flying.
terrifying.
Yeah, it was so scary, dude, and I could not get one of the shutters closed. I couldn't get
Yeah,
it
I
locked in.
remember
I'm out
that
there
story.
trying to jam it,
Yeah.
and I'm freaking out. I got like a screwdriver trying to close this
That
thing.
sounds like a Telltale game.
Yeah, my wife's like losing it, and she's like, "Come back inside."
Spam aid, a
Like,
closed
"It's
shutter.
fine."
Michael!
Yeah, yeah, and you're just spamming, and
Yeah.
nothing's happening. Yeah,
Nothing happening.
that was that. It was freaky.
You
You
actually
ever
So
see
far,
those pictures?
pretty good this year. We've avoided
Yeah.
so far, but it's not
Oh
over
my
yet.
God.
So
Yeah.
a
You
few
guys ever
more,
see
few
those
more
pictures
weeks.
of like a 2x4 that got sent through a concrete curb by a tornado? You ever see those like pictures? It's wild.
Dude.
Yeah,
And it's like you would think a 2x4 would just disintegrate if it hit concrete, but no, it just punches right through. And it's like, what if that was me?
yeah.
What
Yeah.
if it was you? Have you seen
Oh.
these videos lately? I mean, we're getting kind of off track here, but it's like kind of in the same realm. Is like people lately have been having a lot of issues with stuff falling out of cars on the highway, and it's like bricks or like axes, or some lady almost got hit by a spear, and like she ducked and it went through her headrest.
Oh my god.
This lady
I got a
ducked.
story. I got a story
Yeah?
for you guys. This is the story that essentially, this is the moment that pushed me to be a full-time streamer. This moment right here.
All right, I'm
God.
waiting.
About a year ago, a little over a year ago, I'm driving to work. I have an hour drive to work on the highway, and I'm just cruising along left lane, 80 miles an hour, typical speed for this highway on Florida, right? And there was like a minivan or a truck in front of me. So whatever was in front of them, something fell off of the car and it flew over their car, and I had, a millisecond to
Yep.
react to this, and it hit my windshield right. It was a piece of metal. It hit my windshield right where my head was, and my windshield saved my life.
Oh
Dude.
man.
Like, it held it back. The whole thing was shattered. Like, it didn't break into me, but it was, because windshields, they have that
Yeah, they have
film
that
or
Yeah,
whatever.
they got the film.
Yeah, safety glass.
Dude,
yeah.
that's crazy.
And yes,
That's
I pull over
wild.
the side of the road, and like, that was my moment of like, I don't know how many of you guys have had near death experiences. I guess I've had a couple scary moments. That was the closest one. And that was just like, I just breathed a little bit.
Yep.
Called my wife, called my mom, like, you just call the people you love,
Yep.
like, because that shit could have happened. And then I was like, I'm not doing this drive anymore. I'm not going to this
Oof.
job anymore. And that's when it was like, all right, I took every fucking mobile game sponsorship. I was like, I am done with this shit.
Dude, that's so crazy.
Have you heard of Raid Shadow Legends? People?
Yeah, I was gonna
I'm
say
not
this
getting-
piece of metal
God.
in my windshield brought to you by Raid
And-
Shadow Legends.
Yep. And I drove for like 2 weeks to work and I could see, I drove by the piece of metal every day that could have killed me
dude.
on the left side of the road.
That's that's like a Black Mirror episode is what that is.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
That's
that
crazy.
messes you
Freaked
up.
me
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
Because the thing is like, you couldn't see it coming. Like, I couldn't
No.
I couldn't do
Mhm.
anything.
No.
It was just coming. And I took my hands, like this I didn't mention, I took my hands off the wheel and went like this, because it was like everything happened so
Yeah.
fast.
What's like
And
all
it
you can
was-
do?
Yeah, but like,
Yeah.
taking your hand off the wheel, going 80 miles, it was just like the whole situation was just so
Wild.
freaky. Yeah, and then
Dude.
like just countless flat tires and shit. Like when you're in the left lane going so
Yeah.
fast, I'm like, I'm done with this, bro. No more.
Yeah.
Well, I know Xero actually has a crazy like near death experience story too. And it's like I mean, I won't like tell it for you, but there's a scar on XeroState's face, and that's how he
Yeah.
got
So
I've
it's
never
he-
heard,
have you
this,
heard this
story, by
story?
the way.
it's healed pretty well, but
it. You guys are about to learn something about Xero.
like 10 years ago, I was at my folks' place. I think it was like 11 or 12 years ago. It was a long time ago now. But I was at my folks' place and I was helping them like cut some logs in half. And when you have a chainsaw, the bar is 24 inches long, 28 inches, whatever, right? Well above average. And you're cutting
I just got it.
you're cutting a tree, and the tree's too big for the bar to go through. And so you have to roll the tree over and like get the other half. So we were doing that, and I was like, oh, you kick it over, and it would roll one way, and then it would settle, and then you would cut, and you'd kick it back and roll, cut it the other way. So I kick it over, and as I'm going into cut, like I'm bringing the chainsaw in like this, it rolls back, and it hits the front of the chainsaw. For those of you who don't know, there's an area on the front of the blade of the chainsaw called the kickback zone, which is like right here at the top, like front of the chainsaw. If you touch that to a piece of wood at the right speed, it's moving, whatever it might be, it catches and then it flings the chainsaw backwards. It's called a kickback. And I had it in my hand, and then all of a sudden, one of my hands wasn't holding the handle anymore. And it kicked back. It literally felt like I got punched in the face. It was so fast, you couldn't react. I couldn't move my head. Like, you can't go like this. You can't, protect yourself or try to move. And then, you set the chainsaw down, and my buddy was there with me, and he was like, hey dude, are you okay? What's up? And so I turn around, I'm like, does it look like I'm okay? Blood is pouring out of my face. And long story short, in like 9 hours later, we go to the ER. We're there forever, and they put in like 120 stitches. So there's like 60 or 70 internal stitches, and then they covered up the top. And the thing about chainsaws is they don't cut; they remove material. So like this chainsaw had pieces of my face still in the teeth, like when I went back home and I saw it. Because that's how chainsaws work. They cut like a 1/4 inch path through the wood, and they remove that material.
I just felt that in my gut.
Yeah. I'm super pissed off though to this day because I asked the doctor specifically while I was super high on fentanyl and morphine. I was like, "Can I keep the bone chip?" Because they found a bone chip out of my like orbital or whatever this is called, and they had to remove it, like peel it out. And I was like, "Can I keep that?" And he was like, "I guess." And I was like, "Why wouldn't you want that? How many chances do you get to keep a piece of your skull? You know?" And they put it in a little jar, and then they left the jar there, and I forgot about it when I left because I was still kind of high. And yeah, it was a bummer. That's also the story of how I got banned on Twitch for a week. I showed a picture of my face with the injury for like 10 seconds on stream, and either Twitch automatically saw it on stream or somebody reported it, whatever. And like within 2 hours, my channel was banned for 7 days. And I tried to appeal it. And not only did Twitch, and nothing against Twitch anyway, this is years ago, but not only did they not
partner or post.
This is pre-partner, yeah.
Okay.
And not only did they not grant the appeal, they didn't even respond ever.
No.
Yeah. And it was just like, oh, so you're not even going to reply to like a customer support ticket about, you know? So I just waited it out. I think I streamed on YouTube for a little while and came back. That actually did affect my partnership application because the first time I applied for partner, I had all the metrics, but Twitch came back to me and said, "You're denied because you were banned within the last like 90 days or something like that."
That's what I was going to ask. Is that a thing?
It affected
I had been banned for 24 hours before I was partnered, and I was worried about that. Obviously, this was like super long ago, but I didn't have an issue there. And like, even in my partner application, I was like, I know I was banned before. I learned my lesson and all this stuff. And I was lucky. I had just been watching a random dude stream. But he happened to be a Twitch admin.
Oh, wow.
But in partnerships. And then he came across my application.
Oh, that's
cool. And I think that's why because this is when everything was still really small, right? Like
and it was like you knew
happen
people
anymore.
Yeah,
it's like we didn't know each other, but like I spent enough time in his stream for him to know of me.
Yeah,
right?
just know the name.
Yeah, and like put 2 and 2 together, and was like, oh, this guy's cool, and yeah, and then I met him at
that's cool.
At like not TwitchCon, but like at a PAX South or something like that one time.
Yeah.
And I was just like, thanks, man. Yeah, that was awesome. But yeah, so the only one who hasn't been banned here, Berks, you. When's it gonna be, brother?
There's been a couple of times that I've been like, dude, I'm gonna catch a ban for that for sure, and it hasn't happened.
If you, I don't know if you want to say what it is, but like, can you give a
I think I could think of one this last year.
Well, what do you think it is?
Somebody in VoIP on Star Citizen.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
We talked about something.
And a lot of times, if someone yells something on your stream or like types something, even if you take care of it, even if you try to mute them, even if you clip them or report it, delete the VOD, whatever, which is what I did, by the way. I ended up deleting the VOD or privating it. It may have deleted it because it was before you could private VODs. But I basically never got in trouble. Turns out neither the guy who said the bad stuff.
Yeah, of course.
Let's go.
But yeah, it's basically, I don't know. Like, it's not that I'm like trying to be this like goody two shoes, like never break any rules or whatever, but it's I think a little bit of luck. I know some people have been banned for some really stupid stuff. I know like Darklaw, for example, got banned because he made a joking threat to someone in game, and the person reported him like it was a real life threat. Am I right about that? I can't remember.
Yeah,
I thought he
like
jokingly made a threat at an NPC, and
Oh,
and
something like that. It was something
and
really
somebody did a
stupid.
stream report. It was like insanely stupid.
And then
Well,
so
let's follow the rule of the internet. We will say how it happened, how we think it happened, and then if we were even the slightest wrong, somebody in the comments will violently correct us. And then we'll know.
Exactly.
that's true.
Yeah.
And so
So
correct us
now
if
you
we're
guys have a
wrong.
job. Go for
But
it.
either way, it was something really stupid. And not only did I think they took away his ability to stream for a while, and then I'm pretty sure they took away his partner badge, and then it came back, and he also
Weird.
didn't have a sub button for a while.
Yeah, like he didn't have a
Oh
sub
yeah,
button.
yeah.
bits.
Sub button didn't
Super-
come back. Yeah, he
So
was.
super weird.
They completely
really hot about
demonetized
that.
him over this really strange and honestly stupid
Yeah.
decision, which sucks because he's a great guy.
Yeah.
But
I think that prompted him to go to YouTube for a while and discover a lot
did.
of that stuff, which was really cool. And I think
it
he's
did.
I think he's doing better on YouTube now than he was before. And I don't know if that's related, but I have a feeling, just getting comfortable with the YouTube
Sure, just how it
platform
works,
probably
whatever.
helps with that, which is really cool. So
Sure.
I mean, it's silver lining on a big dark cloud, but
No
it's good.
disagreement from me there.
Yeah, for sure.
I
But-
guess we should ask. So how did you get into streaming content? Like, did you maybe do YouTube first, or what? What was like your first stream? What was your first experience with Twitch, or
My first experience with Twitch
yeah?
was wearing a Logitech headset with a crappy microphone and then muting it for the entire stream and then watching it back and being like, God damn
Well,
it. I think everybody's done
did
that.
you
but
start with Star Citizen?
No.
Like what game?
I've been streaming for like 6 or 7 years.
Okay.
And partnered for like 3. So I started streaming. What was the first game I streamed? I think was Rebel Galaxy. I was just like,
Hell
this is
yeah,
a
that game
game
is
that
so good.
has a few viewers, and like, I'll just stream it, whatever. And I got my first sub streaming that. I had a Twitch channel
It's a good
from
feeling, huh?
years.
Getting your first sub.
Yeah, and I still remember his name. His name was Big Sean LMS. That was his name. I remember it forever.
I never got that feeling. I never got to know what that felt like.
Why
Why is that?
Because there was no sub. There was no such thing as affiliate.
Oh,
So you went from zero to hero, basically.
right, gotcha.
And I got partnered when I wasn't streaming. So I had 50 subs before my first stream.
Oh, weird.
Because my friend found out that I had a sub button, so he got everybody. He was streaming and then got everybody to sub to me while I was offline.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so I never
Interesting.
got that like first alert feel, like
Yeah.
like my first sub feeling.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. Like you got the like kind of tidal wave moment though.
Yeah,
But I
it
agree
was
with
awesome.
you. I agree with you. It's like it's a little different. I remember hitting affiliate on stream, and then people
Yeah.
were like, "It's time." People are
Let's
donating
go.
bits. Yeah,
Yes.
let's go. It's just
Yeah.
like a cool little milestone for you. And then you think, okay, once I get 75 viewers average, and I make partner,
Yeah,
I'm done.
75.1.
I
Time to apply.
Yeah.
Exactly. 75.1 time to apply. And then you
And
get
then you
partner,
realize
and you realize,
it's just the beginning.
it's just the
Yeah.
beginning.
Yeah,
The
for
mountain
sure.
that you're climbing up is you've barely peaked. But
Mhm.
yeah, sorry, Zero. I'm taking the subject off you, dude.
Not at all.
Continue.
This is fun. This
I
is
think
fun.
I think we
sub.
could tie what we just talked into a little bit with it. Like, what were your goals going into streaming, right? Because like you like are like
Yeah.
I'm gonna get partnered, and then I think our goalposts tend to
Yeah.
move as we grow.
Yeah,
right?
for
but
sure.
what were your
'Cause-
initial ones?
I think it was just to have fun. It was just
Yeah.
like, I'm gaming anyway. So it was
Fuck
like
it,
I
yeah.
streamed a little bit of Elite Dangerous way back when I played it. It's like
Mhm.
7-8 years ago. And then Rebel Galaxy, and then I did like Fallout 4 for quite a while. And I actually,
Okay.
there's still some people who hang out on the stream who watched the Fallout 4 streams, and that's
Wow.
how they met me and how they know me. So we became like really long
a good
lasting
feeling.
friends because of that. Yeah. And eventually like started peppering in a little Star Citizen, like tried it out here and there, and it was tough, but went back to Skyrim and Fallout 4 and Fallout 76 and which was awful to stream and to play at the time. It's better now, but
I heard it's good now. Yeah.
yeah, I had a
I've
really
never
good
touched
time.
it.
Really good time streaming BattleTech. For some reason, the BattleTech category at the time when I streamed it, I had maybe like 8 to 10 viewers. But then when I streamed BattleTech, it's one of those things where like the category has like 150 viewers, and if you have 10, people are going to gravitate towards your stream if you're even slightly likable, And apparently I was. So then I'd have like 40 or 50 viewers just while playing BattleTech, and I was like, oh, this is crazy. I found momentum. Like that's an interesting moment, you know. And we had like people that were making mods for BattleTech that would come into the stream and like talk about this and that. And the other. This was really cool to like meet a lot of people.
Yeah.
That was a really cool experience. But yeah, and then it kind of morphed into, you know, Fallout 4 for a while and back to Skyrim for a while, you know. And now it's mostly Star Citizen, but I try to dive into other things from time to Starfield and Baldur's Gate and stuff like that, which is, it's fun, you know, it's fun.
Yeah.
Dude, it brings a smile to my face when I see a XeroState stream go up and it's not Star Citizen. And the reason why is because I know for 100% fact that if Zero's playing a different game, he's trying to have fun. You know what I mean? Like he is having fun playing that game, and that because he loves Star Citizen. Maybe maybe more than me and Mike. And
I mean 100% more than me.
Well, I was gonna say maybe Mike at the moment.
Oh, dude, definitely me after tonight, honestly.
Yeah.
But it's cool seeing you branch out and like seeing you do well in other games and you know, having fun doing it, because I mean that's your whole goal, right?
Yeah.
Because
the real goal is to be, I was talking about this with somebody the other day, like one of the real goals I think as a streamer is to become a successful variety streamer. Like that's such a huge part of a, you know, of a channel's like progress, is like you kind of know you made it when a few hundred people show up no matter what the game title is, you know. And obviously some are going to be more than others. Yeah.
It's sort of to do what you want when you want it. Like, I think the people like you really look up to, you just look at their name and you look at the game and it changes all the time. And you're just kind of like,
yep. Anna Dimitri, perfect example.
That must be so fun.
Yeah. Shout out to Anna, but she has done things like she'll have 1,000 viewers on a stream that has 0 viewers if she wasn't streaming it, you know, or on a game that has 0 viewers if she wasn't streaming it. It's her community follows her to enjoy and hang out with her, which is, I mean, there's a
good feeling.
Other people I could name. Yeah, it's it's an amazing feeling. It's cool to watch, you know.
Yeah,
but
I got like little blips of that where like I don't have to even be in a game category. I could just sit there and talk.
Yeah, that's true.
And I've had some moments like that, but when I switch to another game, I'm not a good other game streamer. I've noticed. So I've been working on it, but it's not there yet.
That's tough for everyone.
Go ahead.
No. I was just gonna say I think that's tough for everyone. There's not like I think that it's like someone like Anna's the exception, not the rule. Like I wouldn't be like, if you want to be a successful streamer, go copy what she did, because she's like an amazing, talented you know, woman who has obviously got content creation locked down. She does like 6 different forms of it, right? She's pulling people from like different directions. She's got you know, all these cool roles and like games and stuff. But it's like, if you were trying to become a streamer, I wouldn't be like, oh yeah, all you got to do is become a voice actor and like a music artist and an actor and like, you know, star in some big games and then just like start up the stream and like maybe you'll get a fan base who like buys you a computer and like easy peasy, right? No, like she's obviously doing things her own way, and that's cool. That's really, really cool. But I would say for most streamers, even like it doesn't matter who you are and what game you're coming from. Typically you have a main game. That's the game that you like got your main viewership with. And then the rest of it is going to be like, if you go to a different game, people still like you, but like they're there for the game. Like they want to follow that game. And I think that's fine. Like my feelings don't get hurt or anything when people like leave because I change games. It's just for those who do watch, when we change to other games, it's just a great feeling, you know. It's cool, because it's like, hey, we're here to hang out and have fun. Yeah.
I think like some of my favorite comments is like, I'll go play like Starfield or like Baldur's Gate, right? And somebody will come in and be like, I'm not looking, I'm gonna lurk, but I'm gonna leave because I don't want spoilers. And I'm like, that is so sweet of you. Like, you know, like, I mean, people would just be like, oh, I'm not gonna watch them today, you know. But it's kind of cool to be like, oh, you want to support the stream in that way, even though you're not going to be here. That's That's very
I
nice,
feel
I
like
think.
only a XeroState viewer would do that.
No, I
They
don't
like
think
you
so.
so much
I
that
don't
they'll
think
lurk
so.
so you get a viewer
That's just
to
My
because they
not
know they'll
actually
get
watch.
banned if they don't show up.
my chat just says, I don't want spoilers. Peace out. I'm leaving. They're not like, they're not like, I'm giving you a view. They're like, okay, see you later. Don't want to spoil
Mine
myself.
are like, so you finally quit Star Citizen?
Oh my God.
Thank God I can't hear you complaining anymore.
Bring back the eco
Jeez.
streams.
Dude,
Bring back
oh,
the
yeah.
eco.
It's so funny when I play another game for 30 minutes. Like it's
Did you
just like,
quit Star
yeah,
Citizen?
I'll literally be playing Star Citizen for months at a time, and I'll take a break to play a game, and people are like, "What? So you gave up on Star
So, Berks,
Citizen?"
you done with Star Citizen?
Like, no, I'm
No?
not done. You know, I'm just like playing another game for a
Yeah.
change. Like, take a deep breath. It's gonna be okay.
Yep.
But
Now, what
go
would you
ahead.
say your goals are now?
Oof.
Different than when they started, or still just have fun?
I think it's different than when it started, because now it's such an integral part of my life that I feel like if I were to quit tomorrow, it would be really hard on me mentally, emotionally, and I think other people would hopefully miss it. You know,
Yeah.
and that it weighs on your conscience a little bit when you think about that possibility. Not that I have, but so the goals are definitely different, and I think in my position, I think most streamers probably have the long-term goal of like, I'd like to do this full time, or I'd like to do this at least half time, or make this my main job and have some other part-time gig that's not taking up as much of my time.
Mm-hmm.
That's a great goal. It's hard to make that realistic,
Yeah.
especially in the adult world. I'm doing this by myself, and it does make it tough, to even think about it. But
I think it makes it tougher. Like you said, you got a new job. It's
yeah,
pay raise, things like
yeah,
that, and
it's
it's
hard to
like
let go of it,
what.
and it's at a hospital, so it's like hospital benefits are usually pretty good.
Yep. When you
You know,
actually have a good job, it's a little bit harder,
yeah,
right? When you like, I think when you're in a position like mine, where it's just like, wow, this job really blows, it made it a little bit easier,
That's
right?
where I was
well,
And
for
like
you, the money was decent, right? The money was pretty
the
good.
money was good, but it's a job, not a career.
Yeah,
Like
and it was
yours is I'm assuming is a bit more of a career
yeah. Oh,
path, right?
this is the kind of job where like people make 35-year careers out of it,
Exactly. Yeah.
And so it's hard to think about moving away from that,
Yeah.
Only a couple of things could pull me away. It would be like a solid job in game design of some kind. I don't know code very well, but it would be like I don't know. I don't know if that's even a job, but something
there
like
are
I
game
love the
design
idea of making
jobs,
video
Xero.
games, Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm sure. But successful OnlyFans
but
creator. I don't know.
guys that just
True.
say, you know, what would be cool if we did this. I want that job. Like
That
it
would
would
be a
be
great job.
like if
Isn't
you
it
were
like
like a
what's
game
it called?
designer, right? Like it'd be really sick if we did this.
The
You guys
idea
think we can
man.
make that happen? Yeah, the idea
It sounds
guy.
like you just described Chris Roberts. I'm not gonna lie.
Gonna say that.
You know, it'd be cool. Let's tell people we're gonna not sell a ship, sell it for 10,000,
Oh my
and then
God.
after people buy it for 10,000, sell it for 260.
260. Best I can do is 260.
Yeah,
It would have been great if they had it for
pretty sick.
350. So then we could say about 350.
Yeah,
But missed opportunity on their part.
but no, I mean, I think for me it was a little bit easier. But if I was in a situation like Xero, it would be so much different for me. It
I
would
agree.
be.
I remember watching Mike
It-
streams when he would be like, I have to go to work later. And you're just like, you can tell that
depressing.
yesterday like killed his soul a little bit and today's going to kill his soul a little bit more.
Yeah,
And even the days where like, I think a lot of people, maybe not in your shoes, but a lot of people in that job might be like, I got a good table, like my area. You say something like I'm in an area
you had it
where
right.
I'm
A
gonna,
good table.
yeah, like I'm going to make a lot more money today. And it's like, that
Mhm.
could be exciting to people, but that was like, you could see it on your face. You were like, it's a good day to work, but it stresses me out and
Yeah.
it like sucks my soul just a little bit more. And it
Oh,
was
yeah.
like, I was really happy when you announced like, I'm going full time. We're going to do it, And I was like,
So was
sweet, this is
I.
going to be, and the happiness, like the happiness was just like immediate,
Yeah.
And so that was
It
really
was
cool.
it was like a light switch went off.
Yeah.
Um, do you feel like, obviously you just said that that's one of your goals, but I mean, do you feel like you're in a similar position to that at all?
Not yet.
Yeah.
honestly. Part of it is if you live stream and you don't create much content on other platforms, you have that same. And I mean, not to make it all about revenue, but like you kind of only have that one revenue stream, and so it doesn't support you as well. You know?
I'll turn it into not a revenue thing.
Okay.
It's you have that you only have you have a ceiling of growth. And your ceiling is whatever the discoverability on Twitch is in that
Yeah,
in that category or whatever, right?
that's true. Yeah.
Uh and that's it. You just have a ceiling. So in a situation where maybe if you made a bunch of and listen, it's Star Citizen, there's a ceiling no matter what, most likely. But but let's say you make tons of YouTube videos and people find out that you're just like the nicest guy on the planet and everybody loves you. And that you grow from there. Like you have a higher ceiling then, but that's
Mhm.
really all it is. Because I mean, I had this conversation with people the other day. It's like we should, even at our size, we shouldn't really be thinking about money as much as thinking about growth, right?
Yeah.
And just the more people to have fun with is really what it comes down to.
Yeah. The difficult thing for me is like here's a typical day, right? Like a Monday. I get up, 5:45. I get
Mhm.
to work. I work my day. I get home at like 3:45, maybe close to 4, whatever time it is. And it's like I got a couple of hours to take care of the dog, to get some food down my gullet, maybe get groceries, whatever I have to do, do some errands, try to get one little house project done, and then it's time for stream. I stream until it's time for bed. And then it's like I brush my teeth, I let the dog out, I play with her a little bit, and it's bedtime. And then I wake up and I do it all over again. So it's
Mhm.
like, where do you put in make YouTube video? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Where do you put
it
in,
hard,
social
you know?
life or
Yeah.
whatever? Yeah.
Yeah.
And like
So,
stream is allowed, and I think it's totally acceptable for it to be part of your social life.
yeah.
But the that's I think that's for me when it got really difficult to do to do that schedule. Like you and I were
Yeah.
doing similar schedules.
Yep.
Obviously, I don't never worked 5 days a week for since 2013,
Well, but you've also been
something like that.
pretty
But yeah.
consistently putting out the podcast, and YouTube videos and, like, doing
Well,
a
I
lot
mean
more of that stuff, so that's
the
like a job, you know?
I meant the full-time job, like,
Oh,
never it's
beyond
been a while
the
since I was
content creation.
full-time.
Yeah.
Yeah, not content creation job. So
Mm.
the like, because 'cause I'm assuming yours is 5 days a week or
Yep.
hospitals maybe a little different, but yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, it makes it so much harder to get there, but, um,
Yeah, it's tough,
yeah,
sometimes,
because
but
what
I mean, it's
happens.
also not tough because it's like I can't complain too much about having a solid, stable job with solid benefits that pays the bill, helps like it you can't
Of
complain
course.
about being in that position, you know, especially in today's world where a lot of people aren't in that position or can't be in that position. So it's like I can't
Exactly.
really complain, but it's like, could I see ways in which it could be better? Yeah.
Of course.
Speaking of which,
Mid sentence, I swallowed a fly. Not
oh my
kidding.
god, that is not what I was gonna say. My or Zero. I hope you were okay, bro.
I think so. I
You
think we're gonna
good?
get some free protein here in a second.
Okay, good, good, good. Well, speaking of which, speaking of like this balance between like work life and streaming life and how do you juggle it all, this week, if you didn't hear, and Zero, I would love to hear your take on this specifically because this is something that I guess like falls into like your realm. And so basically there was a streamer who is a teacher who got let go this week because his stream was discovered by the students, by the staff of the school that he worked at. Apparently, they were citing that he was swearing on stream and stuff.
Mm.
Which, listen, guys, I know.
Gasp.
Yep,
Oh, I
shock
know.
Pikachu face. That is a big no-no.
Yeah.
The principal
This stream
apparently
is for mature audience.
exactly. And how dare he, an adult, say
Mhm.
the no word? And
Mhm.
so essentially what had happened was he got called into the principal's office and the principal said, "Hey, they're making too big of a deal about this. We got to let you go." So he comes on stream, he's being super nice about it. He's basically saying, "I knew this was inevitable. I knew I was going to get fired. I'm a very professional person at work, but for whatever reason, they feel like I can't separate the two, and so they have to
Yep.
let me go. And
Yep.
it's going to affect my work life because now the students know about it and they've discovered the stream, and so they're going to use
Come in
that
and troll.
information and troll
Yeah.
and whatever, right? And so it affects your personal relationship with your students, was the argument.
Yep.
However, I think it's freaking crazy, that they have any authority to be like, you're doing this crazy thing outside. Well, I don't know. It's tough. What do you think, Xero? Because I'm kind of seeing it from both sides.
I saw that video earlier today. We talked about this before we started, but I saw that video earlier. I think it was earlier today or yesterday. I can't remember what day it was, but and I thought the same thing for the most part. I was like, well, that's silly. But at the same time, I don't know if it was public school or what the situation was there, but a lot of the education system or just corporatized systems in general, not necessarily education, but you know what I mean? Just systems that are very like set in stone. I feel like they're kind of old fashioned in that way a lot of times, where they have these like kind of strange arbitrary rules about things like that,
Yeah.
Like a good example, and this is just if you worked for a church and then they caught you out like partying, and getting drunk and whatever, like that would be something that they would, take
Frown
issue
upon,
with, right? Yeah. And that would, be an issue for them. And some people would say, well, that's really old fashioned. You shouldn't care. But then again, it's like it's their house, so maybe they get to care. I don't think he should have lost his job over it. I think maybe they should have done some more research,
Oh my God, guys. He
What?
has a hobby.
Oh,
I don't
no.
know. That's how I see
Yeah,
it. Is like he
I
has
could
a
get
hobby.
behind that.
Oh, I thought you were about
I-
to bring up like a point about this
No,
guy.
it's just like what's the like the guy has a life outside of your job.
Yeah,
Do you know
it's
what
tough,
I'm
right?
curious about?
Mhm.
Is we have a teacher who streams in the Star Citizen community. His name's Astropub. I wonder if he like touched on this subject at all and like what he thinks and like what his situation is.
Yeah,
I'd
it's a good point.
love to ask him.
Yeah,
'Cause
yeah, he is a teacher.
he's been a teacher for a long time and has been streaming for a long time. So I wonder what like his experience is. But he's a high school teacher. I don't know if this guy was like a younger, because like if cursing is a problem, I'm guessing the children are younger, and the children find out about it and see him being adult in when he's teaching non-adults would be my guess. Did we find out what the like age group he is? I'll take a
I
look.
didn't know.
I'll take a peek at it. My guess is he's like a kindergarten teacher or some shit.
Oh, you think so?
I would guess
That
middle
would be my
school,
guess,
but I don't
because
know.
if you're citing cursing and it's the opportunity for the little kids to hear
Yeah.
a word that they shouldn't be hearing, inappropriate things, that's my only guess.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah, we don't
like,
know, and we might not know.
then
But
like maybe
that makes
it's
more
justified.
sense. That makes a lot
Yeah.
more sense, right? If it's something like that. But the thing is like, at what level are companies allowed to step into what you're doing outside the office? I would say sometimes, right?
Yeah,
Like,
sometimes.
for example, if let's say you worked for a hospital and you did like IT or whatever, or maybe you worked for a different company and you were a salesperson or whatever, it doesn't matter. And then your company found out you were selling like spicy pictures online,
Who
or
says I'm
like
not?
doing very like grotesque stuff, right? That it's
Yeah.
like, I mean, I don't care if people do that kind of stuff, but I mean, this company might not, right?
Yeah. Well,
And
that's happened
so-
before too. There have been teachers that have been fired for like having
I've
an
seen that.
OnlyFans account.
Right. No, I've seen that.
That's
And this
been
is a lot
actually
more
pretty
mild.
common.
Don't get me wrong. I'm just like, where do you draw the line? Right.
Yeah. For me, I think I draw the line somewhere. I mean, and it depends. It depends maybe what he was saying. Maybe he was saying
Maybe
some really
context.
horrible. Yeah, maybe context.
Yeah. Context is what
Maybe
we
it was
need.
like,
Looks like
he
Mike's
was
trying
like,
to find it.
I'm listening. Like I'm just shocked. Like the guy's crying and stuff. His
Oh,
dad is the
man.
department chair, so like he has to just be like that. He just like he let his family down and
He
shit.
seems like
But,
such
like,
a nice dude.
Yeah, it's just
the video I
so,
saw
like,
too.
sad,
He
man.
teared up and he was just like, these things happen, and he was trying to be really professional about it, but you could tell it was just eating him up.
Oh yeah,
That
I
would be
feel
tough
so
though.
bad.
It would be really difficult. I mean, there's some of my coworkers have like found the stream. One of them messaged me at work, and was like, he was like, "Hey man, I was watching your stream the other day," and it's like, "You're famous, huh?" And I was like, "No, not even a little. What are you talking about?"
Oh my God. Dude, that's like my worst nightmare is that people, this is why I don't have friends in real life. Okay. because all my friends are online because it is so incredibly cringe to me when I run into people from either my real life or that I, from my, like, I say my past life. That's not really what I mean, but you know what I mean. It's like you go through stages of life and there are people who I'm no longer friends with, don't talk to anymore. And if they stumble upon the stream, that's a pretty awkward moment for me. I'm not going to lie, especially when they're like, call me by my real first name. And it's like my stream doesn't call me by that. And, they're like, oh, like one guy came in. This was like years back.
I don't know Berks' I don't know your real first name.
Dude, my mom calls me Berks.
Yeah.
My family calls me.
I have a secret. It's not really a secret anymore. In the next 10 seconds, it won't be. I actually know Berks' real name. And I have to blame.
Out there? He looks nervous.
No, it's not out. It's not out there. It's not out there.
Okay.
It was a one-time happenstance. And it wasn't from the stream. It was actually from, I guess I can say this. It was from Atmo Esports. We did the fight or flight thing, and they sent an email to both of us, like, because we were on a team together. And they didn't send it with blind carbon copy. They sent it to like each of us, together. And there was a name in there at some point, and I don't remember where it was, but I was just like, oh, well, that's a weird thing to see. And then I never told anybody. So.
Dude, CIG still emails me whenever I like am doing they'll like email me about like a patch coming up or whatever.
Yeah.
They'll email me on that email, and I'm like, hey guys, I've asked them several times to not
I wonder
email
if it's
that email anymore.
Attached to your account,
I think it is. Yeah, I think it is. And so, I don't know how else they would get the email. So maybe that's it.
Yeah.
But
I still get emails, and same thing, exactly the same thing. Yeah. I get emails at my personal because that's what I set up my original Star Citizen account with. And
yeah, no, totally. And so, I don't know. It's not that I care. Like, I like my name. I think it's a cool name.
Timothy's a great name. It really is.
It's not Timothy. Chad, why don't you guys go ahead and guess what it is? No, I'll tell you guys. It's just Brooks. That's my. Okay. Literally my name Berks is like a play off my real name. Have you guys ever seen that meme that's like, oh my god, mashed potatoes? It's like the German girl holding it. Yeah. My friends started calling me Berks Berksby in high school. They were like, oh, you're Berks Berksby, because like Brooks. And so that's how the name Berks was born. And so Berks Berksby was my name online forever. Ever, never, never. And then I started streaming and I was like, okay, I want to brand a little bit. So I did Captain Berks. And then I felt like Captain was a little bit too formal for me.
I don't know if that's necessarily true. He lost his captaincy.
He was whoa. It wasn't on a Vegas bet. I swear I should have bet it on red. But no. It's I literally I just didn't like how like authoritative it sounded, and people like treated me differently than like a normal streamer. They were like, "Aye, Captain" and stuff, and I was just like, I don't really know if I dig this. Like, I feel like I'm more chill than this, and it didn't really play into my personality. So I was like, let's just go with Berks. Let's just go.
Yeah,
with
I think
Berks.
the next subathon you got to bring back the jacket.
I don't own it.
Goal.
I don't own it.
Where did it go?
I got a funny name story. It was from my days when I was dealing and supervising poker. I think I was supervising a little bit, and I knew the first name of this so I worked in a casino that was really scary, like super dangerous area, gang activity, all this stuff. It was crazy, and all the players that came in and played, like, you turn on the TV sometimes, and like I think I've told the story on the stream, or the podcast, but like my favorite player is in a high speed chase on television, and I'm like, oh my god. But one of the players that would cause a lot of problems, like sneaky little, we call them angles in poker, which is like you're not quite breaking the rules, but you are breaking the rules. And it just like causes fights on the table. It's like real pain in the ass. So this guy is an angler, and anytime he would cause trouble, I knew his real name. His real name was Charlemagne, and he hated his real name. So I'd be like, I'm gonna tell them. I'm gonna tell everybody your real name, and he would just like straighten up and was like perfect.
Sounds like an anime main character name, to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, there's like a famous rapper like Charlemagne the God or something like that, right? Or
Really?
like
Yeah.
It's a
I
cool
think,
name. I actually
or
think that
like
name's
radio
sick.
host. I think.
I got to be honest. I like that name.
Yeah. I think the name was sick too, but he was super embarrassed about it.
Hmm.
So I used his embarrassment to like get this one guy who would
Yeah.
cause so many people trouble, and everyone be like, "What? How do you keep him in line?" I'm like, "I can't tell you."
You just used his toxic masculinity against him. It's perfect.
Exactly. It was super easy. So yeah,
Dude, I
but
swear
that
this
was
fly is like eating my vocal cords. It's so bad. I don't know what's going on.
that's
Ugh.
the worst feeling. Something stuck in the back of
Oh,
your throat.
yeah.
Oh
I
my
It's
don't think
like
god.
there's
trying
too
to
many
mute and
worse,
cough, but oof.
but yeah, I don't
Actually,
know.
Mike, you have a story about where you like saw a porn star?
What?
Oh my god,
Uh
don't make me tell this story.
okay, I'll
Oh
tell it
my
for him.
god.
No.
No,
So,
I'll
fun
tell
fact,
it.
I have audio shout outs on my stream, and I change Berks's all the time because he says the most unhinged shit every day.
That's true.
But
That's correct.
Mine stayed the same.
one time Berks's audio shout out for me was "fuck XeroState." I wish, man, and that was it. But
That's a good
Mike's
one.
is Mike's is
What is my
the
audio shout
middle
out?
of the story when you said, and I look at this guy and he looks at me, and I've seen this guy's dick, and he knows that I've seen his dick, and that's the end of the audio clip.
So it wasn't a female porn star.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So it's Super Bowl, and we go to this local bar, and they have like the best wings. I love this place, and we would go there every Sunday, but it was like big day, so this place was packed, right? And I keep looking at this guy, and I'm like, I know this guy from somewhere. I don't know where I know this guy from, and I just keep looking and looking and looking, and I'm looking at him. He knows that I'm looking at him because like your eyes lock from across
Mhm.
the room or whatever. And I'm just like trying to figure out like, have I dealt poker to this guy? Because when you deal poker, like people come in and out, and you recognize people all the time, right? And
Yeah.
Of
that's
course.
what I thought it was from at first, and then I realized that he's a male porn star, and because I'm in Miami, right? So like it's a hotbed
Hold
for
on
this.
a
So, like,
second, Mike.
Yeah.
You watch porn, bro?
yes,
What the Yo,
Yep.
I gotta leave, honestly. I don't know if I can.
I'm upset.
Disgusting.
I'm disappointed.
I'm getting fired from my kindergarten job. Sorry, guys. My kindergarten teacher job. Fire me.
Uh-huh.
But no, and like then you realize when he knows why I'm looking at him, he knows that I know,
Mhm.
and then it's just like gets super awkward. And I was
Because
just
he
like, I
probably
gotta,
has that moment several
I can't.
times a day. Yeah, like in the grocery store,
Exactly, right? And
some
he
guy
was
picking out
like,
cucumbers.
everybody
looks
knows who
over
like
him.
Johnny Sins is, right? Like the guy who's like,
That was him?
he's no, but it was like somebody who was in as many at the
Mm.
time. It was just like this guy was everywhere. So yeah, it was just I don't
All I
know his
can
name
picture
or
is that
anything, but
scene
like, what
from
the
Always
fuck?
Sunny in Philadelphia where they're staring at each other across the restaurant. And he's like,
Yeah.
dude, I'm over here. And he's like, I can't. Charlie's looking right at me.
I love that show, but I never watched it enough.
I haven't
I
seen all
never
of them
watched
for
it.
sure. But it's pretty
That show
funny
is
when I
so
do
good.
watch.
It's one of the
Yeah.
ones I didn't pick up for sure. I watched like pretty much all the other like sitcoms from like that area, but for some reason I didn't never watch that one. It's good from what I hear though.
It's one of the best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty
One of
funny.
the best
I mean,
ever.
How I Met Your Mother really went downhill, you know. So
Yeah, I think Always Sunny came out at a time when the world was lacking some really good. I mean, there's some good sitcoms out there, but it just kind of hit this spot of like it's kind of that raunchy humor, it's kind of edgy, but it's also ridiculous,
Right.
and
Yeah.
people just wanted that,
Well,
they just wanted to laugh,
ridiculous because of the implication, of course.
Yes, because of the implication.
Yeah, the implication. That would be ridiculous.
I have no idea what the hell's going on right now. This one's over my head.
It's a reference.
Gotcha. Do you know what I would be curious is because it was on FX. Like it was on a pretty random cable channel. For me, like I feel like I wonder how it would have done if it was on something else.
Hmm.
You
Yeah, I
know?
get that with some shows, where it's like, I'm glad the show's on HBO because it could never go anywhere else,
Yeah.
Like-
It was weird. I think about that with like, but remember when like I guess when cable maybe 10 years ago or 15 years ago, it stopped mattering what channel the show was on. Like AMC, who the hell would have watched like a popular television channel, a show on AMC, and then The
Yeah.
Walking Dead came out? You know what I mean?
Yep.
And it's like things started to change. Like just there was just hit shows on all sorts of stuff that you would have
Mhm.
never watched when you were
Yeah.
younger, sure, but like just there were only the hit shows were only on certain channels when I was younger, right? So
Yeah.
Yeah,
things
there's too many exclusive streaming services these days,
It's
man, and they're
tough,
all getting more
man.
expensive. Like,
this is
for
what
those of you
cable
who are
said would happen too. This is what the
for the
cable network
oh,
said.
yeah. For those of you
But
who are plebs like me and you have the lowest Hulu plan, the commercials are
unbearable.
brutal.
I
It
don't
is
watch
like,
Hulu
okay, like
because of it.
normal audio volume of the show, and then every, I don't know, 8 seconds, they play 5 minutes of ads that are at, like, it's like a nuclear bomb going off in your
It's like
speaker.
Twitch.
It's crazy loud. And
Dude,
it's like the FCC should get complaints about this shit, but because it's like a streaming service, nobody cares.
nothing turns me off of a stream faster than, and it's the same for a streaming service, than going into someone's stream and then having to wait 2 minutes. Like, listen,
Oh, that's
if their
tough.
ads are at 2 minutes, then what's most likely happening is they have them scaled up. Because
Yeah.
typically, how pre-rolls work, if you've never touched your ad settings, are by default, it's a 30-second ad on the way in. That's it. 30-second
Mhm.
ad on the way in. And if they never run an ad, you'll never see an ad on the rest of the stream ever.
That's how I roll.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's the
Same.
best way to roll, if you ask me.
I think so.
That's the best
I
way
mean, I'm
to
sure
roll.
that there's maybe some merits to it, from a monetary standpoint, depending on your community. Maybe, I don't know, but it sucks to see, because I tried, like when they did the ad incentive program right away. I did like 1 month where I was like, all right, let's try it. Let's see what this is like. And I told the community, like, I was like, hey, I'm gonna do this. You guys cool with it? And everybody's like, okay, it's fine, whatever. But every single day there would be a moment where somebody who wasn't subbed, who was like a new face in the stream, would be like, ask a question, and then I would answer, and they'd be like, sorry, there's an ad playing. I'd be like, well, I'm turning this shit off after this month. Like, I'm not doing this because it's just getting in the way,
Yeah, I mean, there was a
and that was
time where it was like
frustrating.
super enticing, and I'm not
Hmm.
gonna lie, like the numbers that it shows, like the possibilities are super enticing, but it's just like, again, would you? If I wouldn't watch my own stream because of it, why the hell would I ask anybody else to?
Yeah.
You know, like
Yep.
no
I
way.
No,
kind of feel that
totally.
way too.
Totally. It's tough, right? Because like at the end of the day, it's like what we talked about. It's like valuing growth over monetization. But at the end of the day, it's like Mike, me and you, unlike this guy up here, right? Which like, dude, I told Mike this last week, is like sometimes I miss having a full-time job. Sometimes it's nice to think about, I wake up at 9 a.m. Not wake up at 9 a.m. Sorry, start my job at like 8 a.m., and then get off at 5 p.m., have the weekends like to
Yeah.
yourself, don't have any responsibilities. Sometimes streaming, man, feels like a big responsibility. It feels like this huge snowball that I'm trying to keep from like rolling back down the hill, and you're just pushing it up slowly. That's
I
what it
couldn't
feels like
sleep last
sometimes.
night. I couldn't
I've
sleep
s-
last night
Yeah.
because of it.
Really?
No, because of this whole like, I don't want to talk too much about star system, but this like sort of stupid thing happened that I think a lot of people aren't taking as seriously as maybe I am.
Yeah.
But I don't I just some things bother me, right? And I knew I was upset, but then I've also have this weight of responsibility on me now that I feel, because sometimes I've been upset and I've said things that I don't mean to hurt anybody's feelings or anything like that, and I actually hurt someone's feelings. Like I got a note the other day that one of the people who work at CIG were like really hurt by something that I said, and like I didn't even know I said anything hurtful.
Hmm.
Ugh.
And it's like one of those things that are in the back of my mind, and I'm really not happy with the company that of the game that we play. Like not at all. And I'm sitting there going, I want to express my opinion of like, I think this is not good what they're doing, without coming across as like a whiny little bitch, but also not coming across as um disrespectful towards people that have like nothing to do with this stuff or whatever, right? Or may have something to do with it, but it's still being disrespectful towards that person doesn't get anywhere
Yeah.
with it.
Yeah.
And it's not like I'm trying to change minds, like this whatever decision I'm upset about already happened, but it was just like I felt this weight of like, how do I go about this? Because I've never seen this before. I was at 500 viewers within 30 minutes of my stream because everybody wanted to see the car crash because they knew I would be upset about this and they knew I would be really upset about
Oh
this.
yeah, I mean, I'm in your Discord, and like, of course, like, as soon
I
as
can't
it's,
wait.
you
I
know,
can't wait.
yeah,
That's all I
yeah,
saw. And I'm like, I'm, you know, it's I just like didn't know how to handle it. It's like,
yeah,
what do you do? Do you give them what they want and just start fucking punching things or something, right?
yeah.
Like,
Fix
it's like super.
again.
Oh,
I'm
Mike,
38 years old, you know. Like,
there's a new emote on your channel in 7TV that had me dying today. It was
which one?
the band POV band or something like
Oh my
that. Where-
god, this that emote's so
it's so
funny.
good.
The
Uh,
it's
I don't know what this looks
banned
like.
POV. It's banned POV, and it's just like a streamer punching the camera. Basically,
yeah,
it's basically think the Sum Smash, but
from
like
the
a
perspective of the monitor.
yeah. So
Yeah,
it's just you getting like you as the viewer just getting
it's so good.
punched, basically.
Uh, like the door opening, little like zero width
Yeah,
gif, the door opening and then getting punched.
Yeah.
Oh, so good.
it's so
There's so
funny.
many good combos.
That's one of my
But
favorite things
yeah,
in Mike's chat is like the emote combinations that you can make with the zero width emotes and stuff like that. This is
I
hilarious.
have lots of fun with emotes.
Mhm.
It's my favorite thing about live streaming
Yeah.
is like saying something, doing something, and the emote following. I had a emote school the other day because we had to explain people what copium means because they were
Oh,
taking it
Of course.
as offensive, but we had to explain to them what it actually means. And then we went through and explained a bunch of other emotes, and it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. But
A
yeah,
deep
I mean,
dive.
my favorite is when
I
I
feel
get
the
a
weight, and it sucks.
my favorite is when I get a first time chatter and it says, "What is KEKW?"
Yeah. And then like
It's
five
like,
people will be like, get
So
7TV
good.
or get BCTV or
Yeah,
whatever.
it's so
Mhm.
Yeah.
funny. It's like, oh, they're new. But it's like, what was I gonna say, Mike? Is yeah, it's like it's challenging because, how do you like navigate all this stuff while like building your stream, while managing to be full time, while worrying about like, if I don't do this right, am I gonna have to like go back to my like previous job, right? And
I'm going through that right now. It's fun.
yeah, it's tough, dude, right? These are real
Like
realities.
I don't have to, but there's like the possibility that I might. Well,
Yeah.
no, I'm fine, but there's like the chance that I might become the sole income again. And if I am, I'm afraid that that pressure is going to hurt me.
Hmm.
And that's like one of my biggest fears is I've watched so many streamers crush under the pressure of being having to be, like it's all on me and they put so
Yep.
much pressure
It's
on
tough.
themselves that they start talking about how it's going to be tough. I need some subs, and then
Yeah, it's like everything
you're like,
becomes personal and then it gets weird and yeah.
yeah. And it's like it's not about having fun anymore. So it's like I'm
Yeah.
just like that's my fear is that right there. It's not actually like worrying about having to go back to my job because I also feel the way you do, Berks, a little bit. Is like it was kind of nice to never have to take my job home. That was sick.
Yeah.
Like you just like come home and like watch a TV show and you're just like, yo,
I
this is
do
it's pretty
I have
cool.
the occasional night off,
I was gonna ask that. Do
Saturdays.
you take nights off? Because
I
like I
well,
never see
so
you off.
it's a long story kind of, but this year I used to stream Saturdays a lot. I'd stream a long day on Saturdays. But this last spring my dad broke his ankle pretty bad, like needed surgery, plates, the whole 9 yards. And we were going to basically finish their garage. The garage was basically attached to their house, but it was like a pole barn, like an old garage with like big posts.
Mm-hmm.
And so it didn't have any walls. It was just bare, almost bare metal. And so we have basically built the interior of a garage over the summer. And he's had this broken leg. So like I went out and found him like an electric wheelchair, one of those
Hell
like
yeah.
with a little joystick that you drive around
Yep.
with, so he was able to get around and get outside. And because he had to lay in bed for 18 hours a day at least for like 3 weeks to get the swelling down before they did
Yep.
surgery. So and he just hated it. Every second of it, he hated it. And so I was like, I'm gonna take every Saturday. I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna help them with things around the house. And my dad's 74 now, so he's getting up there, right? And we have almost got the garage finished. We might make it before winter if we can get the heater in
Nice.
there. So every Saturday for me has been going back to the farm that I grew up on. And it's been really cathartic, It's like
That's
I'm
so cool.
working and I'm working hard, but I get to like sit down at like, 7, 8 p.m. with my dad outside, in the summer, cool summer air, and just like, sip on a glass of water, talk about this and that, and just I've become better friends with my dad in this last year than in 34 years prior.
That's
And
sick.
it's really humbling, but it's also like, I don't know. I'm glad I'm doing it, but I realized I missed his 60s pretty much. I would go
Yeah.
visit some, but so there's like the regrets,
I go through that now because like
yeah.
I moved to Florida in 2009 and my parents live in New Jersey and like I
Yeah.
never see them. And then
Yeah.
I've developed this like massive fear of flying. I don't know if I talked about it last week, Berks. You're always my memory for me, but
I think you did
uh,
mention it. Yeah.
yeah,
Not on, I don't know about the podcast, but I think you've mentioned it on stream.
I've definitely mentioned it on stream. But I'm gonna, because of my like crippling fear of flying, I'm gonna get on a 30-hour train and go see my parents at Christmas. And we were gonna surprise them at Thanksgiving because they're coming down here for Thanksgiving
Mhm.
because I won't fly up there. And I was gonna surprise them then, and I couldn't. I just told my parents today, like right before we got on the podcast. Basically, my mom's crying, all this stuff. So
Uh,
it was great. I'm super excited because
That's
again, like
cool.
yeah, they're getting up there, and it's like, dude, I missed a lot. And
yep.
even when I was in high school and stuff, like my dad was working a lot, and like he missed a lot of my like high school hockey games, things like that. So
Yeah.
it's like we got to spend some time together.
Absolutely, man. It's
Yep.
like that stuff's important to prioritize.
For sure.
Yeah.
Anyway, I guess we're off topic, but on the job thing, it is nice to like leave work on Friday. And like, I
Yeah.
mean, one time somebody, I can't remember what it was. They like texted me. It was like a coworker, like an old coworker at my previous job, which was at the same hospital but a different gig. And they like sent me a message on Teams or whatever, and they were like, "Hey, what's the plan for this?" Or they asked me something, some work related thing, and it was like 4 p.m. and I was like, "I'm leaving now."
Yeah.
And I literally, my response back was like, "I don't work here until Monday again. So like, I don't know what this job is. I don't have a job till Monday,
Yeah.
And that is a good feeling sometimes,
Yep.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's
Of course, then
And
I fill it with
streaming?
streaming and
And streaming's a job that never ends.
It never sleeps.
Yeah.
Yeah. It never
Yeah.
ends. It's like it's a constant monster. And
a
sometimes
good example is like last night, I was
Yeah.
streaming my normal time and Berks was like, "I'm going to jump in with you," and he didn't stream, but he could have. And he ended
I
up
ended up
staying up really
recording.
late, not
Yeah.
getting much sleep. Yeah. And it's like,
I woke up at 5 a.m.
Hopped
next morning,
hopped on and played with me.
hopped on and played with Mike. I couldn't sleep. I didn't even set an alarm. Couldn't sleep. And so
Iron Man.
if it seems like I'm a little tired during this podcast, that's why. Because like
This is like the first time we had the new Jump Town in start, and everybody, because like there was like
Oh.
certain times when it was going, and people were like, I didn't
Yes.
sleep either. I was playing at all sorts of crazy hours
Oh,
just to get it,
I
and it
miss
was
it,
so
man.
fun.
Dude,
I
it's
actually
funny
love
off
that.
work
because-
early to play with Berks.
Yeah.
and I think you were there too, Mike. We all played
Yep.
together.
I remember there was one time where like basically Mike wanted to do a jump town and he invited like 4 streamers, myself, I think it was like XeroState, and then like 2 other people, and it was Mike. And it was so funny because like I remember showing up, and I was on time, by the way. I was on time, but Mike was like gearing up and nobody was like had shown up yet. I think one other person had shown up. And Mike was just like, "Okay, this person's a bad friend. This person's a bad friend. I'm never talking to them again." And then I showed
I'm
up.
such a grudge holder, dude.
Yeah, I showed up and Mike goes, "Okay, Berks is a good friend. Berks is a good friend."
And that's that's how I met your father.
All right, you guys want to hear a tiny
true.
little story of how I'm going to sneakily take credit for this podcast existing?
Okay, yeah,
Oh, okay.
Okay, so it has to do with Jumptown, the new Jumptown.
Okay.
I had I can't remember which one of the 2 of you it was that I had a really tiny conversation with. It was like 3 or 4 sentences we chatted. And I said something, I think it was Berks, and I said like, "Hey, why don't you get together with Mike? Because you know, you guys kind of stream at similar times, like daytime.
And Berks was like, I hate that guy.
No. Berks was like,
Okay.
I don't know if Mike likes me. Like, I don't know if whatever. That's what he said. And I was like, oh, I think it'll be fine. And I was like, and then I think Berks did get in touch with Mike, and now they're friends and they have a podcast together, and it's all my fault.
That might have been where it started. Yeah,
well,
because
hold on a second. What'd you say, that we're friends?
Well,
it was our second episode or something. We talked about like how we didn't like each other.
Yeah, I think so.
Right?
Episode
or not
number
didn't
2.
like each other is you thought I hated you or something like that, right?
Yeah.
But
I don't.
Yeah,
I can't actually take credit. I'm totally kidding. But I have a feeling the collab would have happened anyway. You know.
Maybe, but I think that might have helped.
Sure. Let's pretend it did. That makes me feel better.
Yeah, I think it might have. But those were the days. Yeah. And I think we're like having a little bit of that right now, which is cool.
I miss the days when the biggest drama was, when is the next Jumptown event?
Oh, yeah.
I do. You know?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It feels like things have been a little bit murky the last like couple months, huh? It's been a weird time, kind of like stressful a little bit, but man, I hope that means everything's coming to a head. Is what I hope. You know, there's no way for any of us to know. We don't have any secret information. But man, I hope that's what this means, and we'll see. You know, some cool stuff in the game. Sure. I got completely. If you guys are playing Star Citizen, if you're doing the F8C event, I got completely scammed tonight. Literally, we got the ticket. I had it on me. There's a bug going on right now where backpacks are invisible in Star Citizen sometimes. The person that we looted the ticket off of, the platinum ticket, their backpack was invisible, but the marker was on me when I put their armor on. And so we were like debating, should we combat log? That might fix it, whatever. And we ultimately decided against that because we didn't know if the ticket would disappear.
To clarify, he means to enter combat and then log out and right back in
to keep your spot.
To keep your spot.
Yeah, I don't mean like actually combat log. What I meant is like you get combat locked where you have like a timer on you. You go to menu, you come back, and then you're exactly where you are because like the game is trying to prevent you from logging out. And sometimes
it's a great excuse to have your friend punch you in the face.
Yeah, and sometimes it fixes like some major bugs. And so we decided against it. The whole server is after us. They all know that I have this ticket. It's on me. I'm, wearing the armor of the person who had it. We get to the showroom. We juke everyone out. They think we're going one place. We go another. We get the ticket. We're at the console. I click on it. Nothing happens. And then I'm sitting there waiting, trying different stuff. And it says, all tickets redeemed, event complete, or like whatever. And we're like, okay, did it work? Like what happened? Are they resetting it? Turns out someone had the quote unquote real ticket. And the ticket I had was like a ghost ticket, and it was desynced from itself. And so they were able to turn in the ticket no problem. While that's
why we named our show Desync.
Yeah, the Desync.
That's right.
Podcast.
That's right. Yep. And so I guess it just wasn't meant to be. It was still one of the most fun like events and experiences I've had in Star Citizen. Like
it's a weird duality right now because the event is fun. I think. I mean, I've had fun with it.
Yeah.
When you're in the action, right? Obviously, finding the action isn't as fun. But then there's like what like Mike kind of touched on earlier, like the back end of it, with like what's happening on the back end of like the ship sales and all that stuff, whatever. And that's kind of like, I don't like that as much. But I'm having fun with the game, and it's such a weird place to be be
It's tough, right?
To feel that way, but also have fun.
The problem is they almost always put you in that spot. There's very little situations where it's not bro, like we're playing a fucking mobile game now. That's
I died laughing when you said that this morning on stream.
Yeah, we're because
I spat my coffee out almost.
Well, I mean, it might actually be true because like I got sent to like some LinkedIn profiles of like the monetization people. They're literally mobile game execs. Perfect. So it's like we're playing a mobile game veiled as a PC game for right now. Hopefully they turn it into a PC game eventually. But yeah, dude, like it's that's the vibe I'm getting these days, and it just kind of
the game will be crazy if they ever had scanning. That'd be great.
That would be an incredible feature to add, honestly. Honestly, scanning's not working bad this uptate.
I agree. Yeah, it's not too bad.
It's an inside joke, guys. Scanning was busted last patch. But,
so bad.
It's been busted for years.
Yeah. Dude, Xero.
It's had its moments here and there.
Yeah, I think I think it's time. I think it's time for this week's. Unless you
Are
guys
we
want to talk
ending
about
on
something
this?
else. Yes.
Are we ending? Okay, hold on. I got
You want to talk
two
about
quick
something else?
things.
Okay, tell
Two
me.
very quick things. Discord partnerships are gone. Did
Oh
we
my
talk?
yeah.
god.
Yeah.
We
Not that
didn't
it was a
What do you
talk
problem
about
guys
for
think
me,
this.
about
but yeah.
that? I'm a very lucky person. I might be one of the very few lucky ones. I still have a partner Discord, so I'm never gonna lose it now.
So if you guys don't know
That's
the
what that means,
news,
right?
essentially Discord said
Okay.
we are stopping partner applications indefinitely. Now,
Yep.
that means that at some point they could pick them back up, but
True.
as far as we know, indefinite means until further notice, until we
Yep.
Yeah.
until we know. They also said if you have partner, you're no longer required to meet metrics, and that you're
Yeah,
going to
because
keep
that
it.
was scary, man. You
Yeah.
had to like, I was checking it
Yep.
every once in a while. I'm like, oh no, maybe I'm gonna lose it this finally. You know?
Yeah, and apparently
What are
you don't have to do that
the
anymore. They're just
are there huge benefits to it? I mean,
Not really. So,
Okay.
higher quality audio channels
which
and
they
eh,
kind of replaced that with server boosting, didn't they?
yeah. So
Yeah.
no big deal there really. Um, you get some fun like partner merch and stuff like that,
yeah.
and like they'll send you like a Christmas package, and then
That's cool.
little things at events, but which I don't go to. And then the last thing I would say that I liked the most is you get free Nitro. So like I could just
Oh.
spam emotes everywhere and like GIF emotes, and that's my favorite part because I love emotes. So it's like my favorite thing. And it's like, oh man, I'm gonna have to pay for Nitro. But other than that, I didn't really care.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it seems like just kind of like a small thing, but it's
It
cool
seemed
that
like
you
when
have
Discord was smaller,
Yeah.
it was a big deal, you know?
Yeah, like dude,
Yeah.
it was one of my proudest moments. Is it was very similar to the 70-30 split thing. Is oh, update. I'm there. I just have to wait till the month ends. So
Hey,
yay, me and Berks
congratulations,
are there.
Mike.
Thank
it.
you.
Let's go.
And but like, so in my streaming career, the first thing that I focused on when I kind of went out on my own, because I started out on a podcast similar to this, talking about Star Citizen, and streamed as well, but where people knew about me was from that podcast. So when I kind of went out on my own, the first thing I focused on was my Discord. That mattered to me the most. And when the first wave of everybody losing their partnership based off of these metrics came, everyone around me lost their partnerships. And they were
Wow.
like super buddy with Discord people, and they were like really pissed off that they
Yep.
didn't get it. But it was something that I focused on. It was like part of community building
Yeah.
was having a good Discord, right? So it really mattered to me, and I was so proud that I was able to keep it, and I kept it all the way through until now.
That's awesome,
Is
dude.
my
That's pretty
Discord
cool.
toxic? Is it garbage sometimes? Most of the time, yes. If you guys are listening, sometimes I hate you, but sometimes I love you, and it's a great place. But it is one of the things that I'm the most proud of. And I will say this: it was two of my mods made it, and they were like, "You got to get out of this toxic situation with, other streamers and stuff in the space that I was uh, cool with at the time." And that was their way to like start pushing me out. So it's like
Mm.
it's just like one of the things I'm super proud of, and the
That's
fact that
cool,
I'll like
dude.
have this forever maybe is a good feeling. So yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it's
just
cool. And if you
That's
guys
cool.
don't know
Little
Mike's
happy note.
Discord, he's got a really active Discord.
Oh, yeah.
You
I
know?
mean, you guys ever like know if you guys know a Discord is active? I don't know, a good example might be the Star Citizen Discord, but there's other ones out there where it's like super active. You can go to a channel and just watch it scroll. It's like a Twitch chat. It's just always somebody saying something
Yeah,
win,
true.
you know?
Or you
And
leave
Mike's
and come
Discord
back
is
and it's like 350
yeah, you
messages,
can't keep
and you're
up.
just like,
Like,
what the fuck?
Yeah.
especially
Somebody
when
pinged
things
me
are
today. I
happening.
couldn't find the ping. I don't know
Yeah.
what they wanted. I don't know. I never saw
And
it. I'm sorry.
Mike's Discord is like that. Like, it's genuinely that active of a place, so it's definitely well deserved. You know.
Yeah, but it's
That's
just
cool.
it's just a bunch of people that are like they're more complaining than I am. It's like it's kind of an awful place to be sometimes.
Crazy.
So
Perfect.
yeah.
Okay, then what's this other thing?
There is a list of the most attractive
Oh
and
my
least
God.
attractive accents. It was posted by Shuat Head on Twitter. I don't know where she got it from, but the least attractive accents are New York, which is pretty close to what I have with New Jersey, Boston, Agreed. American Midwestern, I have no idea what that sounds like. Like, maybe like, don't you know? Like, I'm from Wisconsin, like that. Is that what they
Oh
mean?
yeah, don't you know?
Yeah, don't you
Yeah.
know?
Isn't that more like
Mi
Canadian?
Nah, fun fact.
no,
A lot of people say the Minnesotan
that
accent, and they're actually saying a Wisconsin accent.
Wisconsin,
Yes.
exactly. I had
My
a
hands are clean.
social studies teacher from Wisconsin, Miss Coking, and she talked just like that, and it was super funny.
Mhm.
Then Canadian, so we're saved there, and then American Southern, so like K Kona accent. Those are the worst, and then the
Brother.
best, most attractive
Brother.
are Australian.
Wait, hold on a second. You're trying to tell me like a cowboy accent, like a partner, like that's unattractive?
Well, dude, it's okay.
Sam
I don't.
Elliott.
What?
No, I don't think they're thinking like cowboy, like like proper cowboy, honest guy. I think it's more like the mega political kind of stuff that's rubbing people the wrong way these days. So like Southern
Mhm.
people that they're getting a bad rap because of other stupid shit that goes on, right? I think that's where that
Okay.
comes from, and then it goes Spanish, German, and Yorkshire. I don't know what Yorkshire sounds like, but then the most attractive ones are Australian, which doesn't surprise me, but
Yeah.
surprises me that it's first. Scottish surprises me a lot because it's kind of hard to understand really heavy Scottish accents, I think. Then London, which I would have thought was first because every YouTuber that's popular has an English accent, right? Then
True.
Irish, French, Italian, Welsh, moist noodle, Welsh,
Yeah, that's right.
and
That's
then
what he says. He says, "I'm
Rummy.
not British. I'm Welsh."
Exactly. What's Brummy? Does anybody know what a Brummy accent is?
I have no idea. I don't even
I'm
know what
looking it
that
up.
flag is.
Me neither. I'm looking it up right now.
I know the EU folks are probably roasting us in the comments at the moment for
Of
that.
course, yeah. Birmingham. It's from Birmingham, England.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So it's basically all of
Interesting.
England.
Oh wait. What
Like,
is
do
it
you live in
called?
I
the
don't know. I
UK?
would like. I just wish there were some examples to go along with these. But I don't
Yeah.
know. I guess whatever.
My favorite accent, Jamaican.
Hmm.
I love Jamaican people. They're my favorite people on the planet. And just listening to them speak, it's not even an accent as much as how creative they are with their language. It's my favorite. I could just listen to them all day. It's my favorite thing.
Yeah.
I went down
Trying to think what
to
mine is.
for work this last year. I went down to New Orleans,
Mm.
and I ordered food from somebody who I to this day I don't know what they said.
Yeah, dude,
I
they're
I
tough
pointed at a
sometimes.
thing, and they said a sentence, and I handed them my credit card. They could have charged me $100. I don't know.
Yeah, they're tough. They're real tough to understand
Yeah.
sometimes. I don't know. I am okay. This might be weird, might not be. I don't know. But an accent like this tweet says can raise your attractiveness level. Like you could be a
Yeah.
6
I'd
and
agree
then
with that.
become a 9 with an accent. And then an 11 if you wear glasses.
Oh, of course.
Mike, you trying to say something about yourself? All right,
I
in
don't-
the comments, I want you guys to rate Mike 1 through 10. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, and now right now I would wear contacts at work every day, and when I decided like I didn't enjoy wearing contacts and started wearing my glasses,
Mhm.
I just started getting noticed by the girls at work all of a sudden.
Huh.
And then when I grew my beard, I started getting
Oh,
noticed even
yeah.
more.
Yeah, the
And then when I
beard
started
is
wearing a suit, forget it.
the
Yeah,
beard is
it
the
was
male
totally
boob
different
job.
life.
Absolutely. Yeah, grow
I
a good beard.
I think it's makeup. That's what I define it as.
And
I
makeup,
think
maybe
a
makeup is a
beard
better one.
is male makeup.
That's kind of
Yeah.
true, honestly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah, that's kind of true.
we just make makeup ourselves.
I mean,
exactly.
I've never been like particularly like fond of my own voice or accent. People always ask me where I'm from. People guess Canada, which I feel like is really weird.
That's
Yeah, that is a
weird.
weird.
But I don't have a
wouldn't guess
Texas accent at all. You know,
No,
that's where I grew up though.
I
You
do.
feel
I
more
do get
like
a.
California to me.
I get a spicy
Yeah, I don't
y'all
know.
from you once in a while on stream, but
Yeah.
that's about it.
True.
Yeah.
But
A
to be
y'all.
fair, you get y'alls from Anna Demetria
Y'all,
too.
listen, y'all is just the superior way to say you guys. Hey, yous guys.
Hey,
Like,
you
no,
guys.
it's hey, you guys. It's just, hey, y'all. I
Do
feel
I
like
give
y'all is
off
just
New Jersey
superior.
to you guys?
Sometimes, yeah,
Yeah, like occasionally,
yeah.
right? Do
Like
I give off like Jersey?
if you're like
Mhm.
being sarcastic, which is common, but you'll be
Often.
like, yeah, you'll kind of get that little Jersey accent going on, you know,
I'm
a little
walking
bit.
over here.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
A little bit.
I would say a little bit, but yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I've never like been a big fan. Some people compliment my voice. I don't really like see it in myself
Actually-
personally, but I can totally
Yeah.
like see where people are coming from. You know, I do
I think-
pronunciate a lot, but literally I pronunciate because whenever I was learning to read, I'm very dyslexic, and so pronunciating helped me mentally figure out the word I'm saying better. And so
Yeah.
yeah,
You enunciate really well.
yeah.
When I actually guessed, I don't remember if it was in stream or just DMs or whatever, but I was like, "You're from California, right?" Like that's what I thought,
Hmm.
and it might have been like because of West Coast accent. It sounds like West Coast to me a little bit, maybe.
Yeah, I don't
Berks,
know.
you give off like cool bro. And I think
Yeah,
that's why
that might
people
be it.
think
Yeah.
people think California. That's
maybe.
that's
a little bit of
yeah.
Hollywood, you know. Maybe it's the hay bales. Who knows? But
All right. I got a test. Say water.
he's overthinking it.
Water.
All right. Xero.
Water.
Water. Right? Like
What-
that's
I
like
feel
one
like
of the big
you
differences.
said it the most country.
I said it the
Water.
most water. That's how we
Water.
say it in New Jersey.
Water.
Dog.
Oh yeah, there's this guy on YouTube, Chris Fix, his name is. He does like vehicle fixing stuff, like tutorials and stuff. And
Mhm.
he's from somebody's gonna make me pay for this. I don't know where he's from, but he calls it soapy water.
Yeah, water.
Water, yeah.
Like there's a few like of those
Water.
words that you could just pick people
Yeah.
people out. Drawer.
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 Drawer. Now it's
Scuba.
Right?
scuba.
Scuba.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I thought we were just choosing. I thought we were just choosing words. I don't know.
No, there's
Oh,
like certain words that like
Roof
really
is one that like Southerners will say it.
Oh yeah, rough.
Yeah, some people say roof and some people say roof.
Oh,
Or like
roof.
bag and bag, or bagel and bagel. For
Oh
instance.
yeah,
Bagel.
Pennsylvania people say bagel, and it is.
Those sons of bitches.
Oh, I went to college in Pennsylvania. That was one of the things that I couldn't deal with. What do you call a sub? Do you call it a sub? Do you call it a hoagie?
Oh,
Do you call it a
sub.
Sammy?
Yeah,
Do you
sub
call it
sandwich.
Yeah, sub sandwich.
Yeah. In
Oh, we're
Pennsylvania,
about
they
to get
call
in a
it
fight about tater tot hot dish,
hoagie.
aren't we?
hoagie. And that's how they say it too. Hoagies. And I'm just
Hoagie.
like, oh my God.
That sounds gross.
It's,
Yeah.
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 I gotta
But-
be honest.
So you
That
guys
was a,
Sounds like a loogie.
have heard about Duck Duck Grey
Yeah.
Duck, right?
it's Duck Duck Grey Duck.
That's Duck Duck Goose, but correct. I don't
You
make
call
the
it a
rules.
gray duck?
Yeah, they call it gray because now somebody's going to correct me, I'm sure, but I think the original term from I don't know Sweden, wherever it's from, was anka anka gra anka, which is like sounds like Duck Duck Grey Duck to me, but I don't know if that's like true or if it was just regional or whatever. But we do say some things in Minnesota, like we call it hot dish instead of casserole. It's hot dish. We just call it like tater tot hot dish is a thing here. You know, there's a few other things too, but
Well, this is
Duck Duck
important
Grey Duck and
information.
hot dish are the big ones. Yeah, I mean, if you ever need to like know where, you know, if you ever go to Minnesota, which hopefully you guys do someday, you'll know how to speak, I guess.
Yeah, I mean this in the most respectful way, Xero. Unless I'm coming to see you, I hope I do not go to Minnesota.
All right, fair.
Have you
You
guys
guys
ever
don't
had
want to see the
pork roll?
world's largest ball of twine? Come
Oh
on,
my
there's
God.
a spam museum. It was invented in Minnesota. There is a spam museum in Minnesota. It's not that far away from either. You guys come up to visit, we're going to the spam museum. Just saying.
Is there anything else? Like, you got anything else? Do you know what I want to see? The Minnesota Vikings stadium.
It's mostly just the spam museum and the twine
No.
ball. Yeah. No. Yeah. The Minnesota Vikings stadium is awesome. U.S. Bank
Except
Stadium.
the birds, did they fix the issue with the birds dying?
I have no idea.
It's all glass, and all birds just kept flying into it and dying, and it was like this big. It was
I
this
think
whole
they
drama thing.
did. I think
That's
they
really
put one
not-
of those
It's
one of
funny.
those like
It's not
one-way
funny, but it's
stickers on
funny.
it. You know that like it's you can see out of it, but you can't see in. You know,
Yeah.
it creates a wall. I think that's what they did. But
Yeah,
I
it was,
actually have a
like, very
story about that
reflective
stadium.
glass.
Before that stadium opened, so I play flag football still, and I have for like 15 years.
Hell yeah,
But
nice.
I got to play flag football on that field before they fluffed it. So what they do with AstroTurf is they like heat it up because it's made of plastic, so it fluffs, and it was all flat, and it sucked because
I can
you'd fall,
imagine.
you know, it wasn't fluffed. But it was cool to go to US Bank Stadium for a whole day of flag football, like before it even opened. It was like for some charity for Crohn's disease, I think. And it was really sweet
That's
to
crazy.
be in there. But
Sick.
That's sick.
Yeah.
yeah,
Cool,
it was
guys.
fun.
Well,
I think it's time now.
it's time for.
Sorry, I diverted
Wait,
us
what did
from
we
it
say we
for
were
a
going to
little
call
bit.
it? Tier. Oh, what did we say?
Yeah.
Tier draft.
Tier draft.
Tier draft.
Is what we're coining the name. So the idea is we each get a little draft. It goes in an order. XeroState's our guest, so we're going to allow him to go first. XeroState, would you like to tell everyone? Do you remember?
No Googling, but if you
No
know
Googling.
the bar but can't remember the name of the bar, is it okay to Google?
I honestly think that we nixed the no Google rule because if it's out there, I feel like maybe you need a little memory jog or whatever, but I think it's okay. So, Zero, do you remember what today's topic is?
It's candy bars, right?
Candy bars, ladies and gentlemen. So, here's how today's going to work. This is how it's going to work when we have a guest on. We're each going to get 3. Mike is going to be team A. I'm going to be team B. XeroState's team C.
You can also just last week.
You crushed last week. Let's be honest. But this week,
I heard.
I'm going to redeem myself. I am. I've got some zingers.
Now I will tell the viewers this. Berks came up with the idea of what we're going to choose. So I think he's already coming in with like a solid 3. Like he already knows.
He's been thinking about this all week.
Do not overestimate me.
He talked about not sleeping this week because of streaming issues. It was just because of this.
I have not slept. I'm not. Hey, listen, maybe a little too much information. I'm falling asleep. To be quite honest with you guys, it's late, but I've also only got about 4 hours of sleep. I'm super happy to be here with you guys, though. So, XeroState.
Like
what?
I said it sounds like it.
Wait,
right
what
now.
do you mean? No, seriously. I'm glad.
No, I know.
Yeah, genuinely. But XeroState, you'll go first. Mike, rock paper scissors. We'll do it on stream. On shoot, yeah. Rock paper scissors shoot.
Boy.
Okay. Here we go. All right, and rock paper scissors shoot.
Oh, you got me. I'm on paper.
Let's go.
Yeah.
So I'm number 2, and then Mike is going to be number 3. If you guys also want to be like Team Zero, Team Berks, Team Mike, that's
all right.
cool
So
too.
this is just
let's do it that way.
We're drafting the best candy bars, right? Trying to see
candy
who has
bars.
the best 3, best team. Okay.
But you're also kind of drafting on what you think, because people are going to vote.
Right.
This is true.
Yeah.
This is true. You got to go for public appeal a little bit too.
That's true.
Yeah.
You know. So if you're doing a fantasy draft team of candy bars, XeroState, your number 1 pick is.
I'm gonna go with Hershey's cookies and cream.
Ah, you son of a bitch!
It's literally in
You
my fucking
son of a
search bar.
bitch! That was
It's
gonna
in
be
my
my
search
number
bar. It's so
1
good.
pick. I cannot
was not my
believe
number
one.
I have been
I thought it
duped
was
like
Sleeper.
this.
You guys are gonna
I
have
thought
to
it
go
was
with
a
old
sleeper.
and busted Nestle Crunch bar.
That was gonna be my number 1. That was gonna be
It's
my
so
number 1.
good.
I'm so disappointed.
I ate one yesterday. So as soon as you said candy bars, the first
Okay.
thing my mind went to was that one.
All right, I'm gonna go with a. I'm a little bit in shambles here. I'm gonna go with another candy bar that may or may not resonate with some people, and that's totally fine. The Reese's peanut butter stick. It's like a wafer bar. Do you guys know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
Yeah,
Those are pretty good.
yes,
kind of like
I
Nutty
do. Those
Buddies
are good.
a little bit.
Those
I
are
love
good.
them. Chocolate
Nutty Buddies
peanut
are so
butter,
good.
absolutely. Chocolate peanut butter, perfect for me. Mike,
I'm gonna go with Twix.
Oh,
I
that's
feel
good.
like that's a solid
love
choice.
Twix.
That would have been my
It's
second
my-
choice.
It's my favorite cookie, caramel, chocolate. I prefer sweets over chocolate. So for me, like a Twix bar is like one of the perfect balances of that because it's a lot of caramel. So it gets that sweet. I'm not as big of a chocolate fan as a lot of people are. So I'm also looking up your bar, what the actual name of it is, Berks. So I'll let you guys know in a moment.
Yeah,
thank
it's
you.
Reese's Fast Break. Is that what it's called? No. Am I wrong?
I don't know. Yeah, I know there was one called that.
Yeah. Reese's has made a bunch of stuff, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I think it's the fast break.
That sounds right. It comes with like 2
Yeah.
sticks. It sounds
Yeah.
right.
Yeah,
Sounds
yeah.
right. Okay.
It was their version of Twix, kind of, but with Reese's.
Okay. All right.
I think with the peanut butter.
I feel like solid pick there. Twix is good.
Good first round.
Good first round. Congratulations, everyone. Xero, I hate you.
It was in my search bar, dude. That was the one I couldn't think of the name, like the proper name of it. I was just like, oh, cookies and cream.
It was
I love that thing.
First one that
Yep.
came to my head. That's all.
Yeah.
Literally first for me too. Okay. XeroState, would you like to potentially tilt the tides even farther in your favor? Round number 2.
All right, I'm gonna go with the old standby Butterfinger.
That's
Can't
a
lay a
good
finger
one.
on my Butterfinger.
That's a good one.
Because it's
Not gonna
a
lie, that
different
was my second
flavor.
pick.
It's crunchy. It sticks in your teeth for the next 8 days or so.
Yep.
So you get to savor the flavor a little bit.
Yep.
And for some reason, it's just like that. It's not quite peanut butter. It's like, yeah, it's flaky.
It's good.
And then you have the smooth chocolate on the outside. It's a good bar.
I think
It
it's
is a
Like if you get a
Mm.
if you get a Dairy Queen Blizzard, like Butterfinger is the best thing
Yep.
to put in it.
Absolutely.
It is a unique experience from every other candy bar that
Totally.
you can eat, I think.
Yeah, totally. And not only that, but also it's just like the only downside to it is that it gets stuck in your teeth. You know?
Yeah.
That's it. But it's a great bar. I'm
Mhm.
coming out, I think, strong on round 2. I don't think I'm going to pick what you think. This is going to be out of left field a little bit. But
Okay.
hopefully there's some people. I think I've already lost again.
If he says
Week number 2,
Toblerone,
I'm
gonna
down
lose
and
my
down.
mind.
I'm going whatchamacallit.
I used
What
to eat
the-
whatchamacallits all the
Do you
time.
not know what that is?
I don't even know.
It's a great
I've never
bar.
had one.
It's a great bar. The people
Hold
at
on,
home
hold
are
on.
going to know.
No, dude, this is one where when I got this on Halloween,
What?
I'm pretty sure I would absolutely not eat it.
You throw it away.
Hold on, I need to make
Yeah.
sure. I need to make sure this is what
Is
I
it-
think it is. I wasn't
is it-
using Google.
Is it malty?
It's like
Hershey's,
crunchy,
Hershey's
malty.
makes it. Hershey's
a-
makes it.
Yeah. It's like crunchy. It's like malty. It like
So it's kind of like
I love malt.
it's a little bit has like there's Butterfinger parts to it because it's like that
Yeah.
peanutty crispy, but it's more peanut flavor and less like toffee. Butterfinger's a little bit
Yeah,
like buttery toffee.
it's
And then it's I just looked at it. It's caramel, peanut flavor crisp, milk chocolate, which
Apparently,
to go
there's a
wrong.
Whoozy What's It as well.
I don't know what
There's
that
another
is.
bar named Whoozy
I'm not
What's
taking
It.
credit for that one. Okay.
Okay.
I'm not taking credit for that one, but yeah. I'm going whatchamacallit. Probably not. I'm gonna go 0-2 probably for this week. But Mike, what's your second round pick?
Easy Snickers.
That's a good one.
Snickers is good.
I
It's
thought about
another
going Snickers.
caramel. For me, what makes Snickers the best, like what I like about Snickers is I don't know what nougat is, okay, but
I have no
whatever
idea.
but whatever
Yeah.
that like you got the caramel, you got the peanut or the peanuts, and then you got nougat. Whatever nougat is, I just it's great.
Yeah.
It's great.
And the
So
thing
I
about
love that.
Snickers is there are 500 types of Snickers. There are ice cream
True.
Snickers. There
The
are
best is ice cream Snickers.
it's
Yeah.
it's like there's a new flavor of Snickers every other day.
Mhm,
you know.
mhm.
Tough to argue with that.
I'm not
It's
gonna
tough.
lie, guys. I don't have a third one. I'm struggling after this.
Yeah.
This is tough.
I can
Yeah, I
think
don't-
of
I
like
don't know where to
5
go
more.
next.
I got to be honest. Like off the top of my
Most
head.
candy bars are chocolate. I'm not a big chocolate person, so this is where I,
Tough. Okay.
I mean, I got
All right.
one, but
Good
I don't
luck.
even like it, so I got to
pick something you think the people will like. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But okay,
I'm gonna
round number 3.
I'm gonna go. This might be a little out of left field, but I feel like I'm gonna get a substantial amount of the vote because it's so unique. I'm gonna go with a Mounds bar, or I guess Almond Joy Mounds, but probably Mounds
out.
because it's coconut.
No.
I got to be honest. That's a hard no for me as well, Xero. But hey, listen.
Yeah.
At least you're
We
giving
have
us
a
a
shot
fair
now,
chance at
Berks.
winning. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Uh,
We literally have a shot
You
now.
coconut
Now,
lovers
listen,
out there,
Mike,
you got to get my
if
back.
you tell me your best answer and I use it, I have the best shot at winning. So you need to give me your best answer.
Bro, this is
Do you know
some
what I mean?
Among Us stuff. Don't even try me
No,
here.
no.
With
Trust
you're
me,
being
Mike.
sus.
Trust me. The
You're
best
being
chance
sus.
of us winning. The best chance of us winning. Okay, it's not about
I
me
think
winning.
I think I got a good shot. I got
Okay.
I got Twix and Snickers.
Yeah, those are good. Twix, Snickers.
Those are
I've got
And
good standbys.
I got a baller one coming in.
I've got the Reese's Break It bars, you know, whatever it's called, fast breaks.
What the fuck?
I got a whatchamacallit. And I'm going to go for a third pick. I'm not going to win. But you know what? I got to be honest. I love all three of these bars. So that's what counts, right? I went for a personal pick. And that pick is going to be Take 5.
What is
Are
it?
you
I've never
90
had
years
Take Five.
old?
I love Take 5s. I felt like
You might as well have said Charleston Chew. What is
I
it?
was gonna
Take
say
It's
Five?
like-
Charleston
it's
too.
like-
Just to
Yeah.
fuck
it's
you guys.
crunchy. It's got caramel in it. It's got pretzels in it too.
Oh, okay.
It's good.
That must taste really good.
It's
'cause
a really-
sweet,
it's
Yeah,
really
it's
good.
probably a good bar. Good
Yeah.
crunchy, salty, sweet. Yeah,
It's so
it's
good. It's so good. It's probably my favorite bar, but I don't think it's very popular.
I
So
just
that's
feel
why
like I just
saved it for
picture like
last.
my grandparents' house, and like on the coffee table there was like a bunch of Werther's originals, and then like
Oh,
a Take
Werther's
5
Originals
bar.
so
I don't know
Oh
why, but I
no,
just,
come on, let's be real. They had 100 brands.
oh,
That's what
yeah,
they had.
true.
Okay, that's my favorite candy bar by a mile.
100 grands?
100 grams my favorite.
You're
but
freaking
it's
welcome.
Not,
What?
It's not the one I'm choosing.
Okay, what are you choosing?
So the one I'm choosing is a Milky Way.
Okay.
Oh, that's a good choice. It's unique.
Okay.
Milky Ways, again, unique mouthfeel. It
Yep.
is like a creamy, like there are two types of chocolate, and it's just so good.
For me,
And you know
that's
what?
too
If you
close to
like a Three
Snickers.
Musketeers,
It is
Musketeers, you will like a Milky Way. If you like caramel,
True.
because Milky
True.
Way is pretty much just Three Musketeers plus caramel, right? It's
Yeah.
like nougat and
The Three
caramel.
Musketeers, that's a
It's
great
like
one
they're all
too.
mixed together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, this was a tough week.
100 grand, that was my favorite.
Yeah, man, this was a really tough week. It's hard, man, having Xero in here too, like an extra competitor. This is only your second time ever doing this, Xero. So
Zero shit on my favorite one though. The regular like Nestle's Crunch Bar is God
I
tier.
said it. What did I say? It was old
Nestle's-
and busted version of the of
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
cookies and cream.
I think
God
that
tier.
I think the Crunch Bar is good. Honestly,
Crunch
that's
Bar
a
is
good
good,
one. That's a
yeah.
good pick too. I was thinking
Yeah.
about doing that for my third pick as well, as like maybe
No
like
joke.
a community vote. But
I bought a Charleston shoe the other day because it's like 3 feet of candy bar for like 79 cents. I don't know how they sell it so cheap, but like,
I know.
and it's like a
'cause it
convenience
tastes
store.
like shit.
crazy. All right, well, you guys let us know who you voting for: Team Mike, Team Xero, Team Berks, and yeah,
And maybe
we're
maybe leave a comment down below on like future little challenges.
Yeah, what would you guys
that
like
you
to
guys
see?
would want to hear?
Yeah, what would you guys
Yeah.
like to see for some ratings? And yeah, we'll get back to you guys with more. We've really been in liking doing this kind of. Honestly, this is it genuinely has. Even though it's my second week, I was like looking forward to this week. I was like,
Yeah,
man, I
yeah.
can't wait to do my
It was
my little
talked
tier
about-
ranking.
I mean, and I'm like a mega lurker apparently on both your streams, which whatever. Get
You
simped, I
type
guess.
in chat. You are not a lurker.
True.
Okay, fair enough. But I think I've heard you guys both talk about this challenge at least twice this last week.
Yeah, it's
it's
like on
fun.
so
stream.
fun.
So I could tell
It's
you guys
fun.
were looking forward to it.
Yeah,
hell
it's
yeah.
super super fun.
So hopefully I beat your asses at it.
All right,
I,
dudes.
you really, I'm gonna do a little bit of politicking here. You really dropped the ball with the mounds.
Oh, come on.
You gotta
coconut
love the
lovers.
mouthfeel. Yeah, but you gotta like. Okay, I love the taste of coconut. The mouthfeel of those like just paper
gonna say-
shredded coconut. It's just I don't like it, man.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah, it's just it gets like it never leaves your mouth. It's always stuck in between your cheeks. I hate it.
What's
Mhm.
that
Hate
minty one?
coconut.
I can
Mint
picture it. York
bar?
peppermint patty.
Ugh,
Oh
It's
yeah,
like
I
York
love
peppermint
that.
patties. I like
I
those.
love
Can't
York
stand
peppermint
them.
patties.
can't
No, you
stand
don't
them.
like
More
them?
for you.
Love
stand 'em.
mints.
Not for me.
Love that. I love minty flavor.
I love when a restaurant gives you like a little mini one on the way out, or like an Andes mint if they're really bougie.
Andes.
No,
yeah, like
thank
on
you.
your pillow or whatever. They don't. Do
I'm a
that
great
stuff
friend to
anymore
have
these
though,
days.
because if I get one of those, then
That's
you get
true.
them. You know what I mean? More for you.
True.
More for you. I'm a
We'll have
great
to go
friend
trick
to
or
have.
treating together.
But
the one that I was expecting somebody to say, but nobody did, and I'm just curious your thoughts on this bar, Kit Kats.
that's a
I
good
thought about
one.
Kit Kat like 4 times.
It's a tough one.
Do you like it though?
I
I
thought
like
you guys
Kit
would
Kats.
argue it's not a candy bar because it's like a wafer.
We said
thing.
Twix.
Like,
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
oh, I guess that's true.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people like Kit Kats. There's also a bunch of different types of Kit Kats. There's like minty ones and caramel
True.
ones and peanut buttery ones.
I think
Honestly,
you'd like
white
the
chocolate Twix
original.
probably should have been a pick for me, to be honest. Because those are
White
really
chocolate
chicken
Twix?
is good.
Hell yeah.
I've never had that.
And you
That
get them,
sounds
you
interesting.
freeze them. Do you freeze
Yep.
Twix no matter what? Not Twix, I'm
No.
sorry. Not Twix. Kit Kats is what I meant to say. You freeze
Really?
them.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh
Kit
my
Kat
God.
makes white
Yeah.
chocolate. They make dark chocolate.
Yeah. And they don't have caramel in it,
yeah.
so it doesn't hurt your teeth when it's frozen. It's just
I
like
think
this
actually,
nice, smooth
I remember
crunch.
eating a Twix white chocolate before. I don't know if
I've
they
never
kept
had a
making
I've
it.
frozen
never
one.
heard of that. I've never heard of that. But yeah, I meant Kit Kat is what I meant to say.
Yeah.
But yo, guys, I've got to bounce off.
Me
Yeah.
too, actually.
Yeah.
I have to be up for work in 6 hours 45 minutes. roughly.
I'm
All right.
rooting for you, Zero. But
So I gotta
guys,
go.
thank you guys
I
so
got
much
you
for
beat by
watching.
45 minutes.
That's fair.
6 a.m. for me.
Ugh.
Hell yeah. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. We really appreciate you, Zero. Thank you again for coming on.
Thanks,
Obviously,
guys. I had a
we are
blast.
going to
It was
have
fun.
XeroState's stuff in the description if you want to follow him. Follow him on Twitter or Twitch or whatever. Great guy. You're not going to regret hanging out with him. But thank you guys so much for another great week. We will see you on the next one. This is Desync Podcast, signing off.